Hello. Good morning. Huh. I should have started this before we got some coffee, not after. But yeah, good morning. I'm just going to be playing this game again. Last time we came to this weird understanding that I don't know what this game is about yet. I'm still pretty early on in the game. So we're just gonna have to figure out what the game is about. Let's transition it. Yeah, I guess you guys could let me know if there's an issue. Like the streaming being complete garbage. Huh. Although, it does feel kind of wonky. Hold on a second. Let me close some more things. That may have done it. Ah. So, attack. Attack. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Lock on. No, it's fire. It's not lock on. As you guys know, this game is notoriously hard to stream because of its massive amount of port issues. Which I can see that people might have a problem with. It's a stick. Is that my only attack? I do like it. Hello, new person. How's the stream running? I can't see it. I closed a bunch of my stuff. Oh, gone already. Oh yeah, there is fall damage here, so... Nope, that didn't work.
Yeah.
I'll fall to my death if I fall down there. Just theoretically. Fuck. Wait, didn't I learn this the other day? Forget this. I don't know how to do that. Okay, so this enemy is also pretty tough. For now. Although he should be pretty easy to beat since he's so much slower. Fuck. Okay, well, I was wrong. Apparently he just backhanded me to death. What? Oh no. Uh-oh. I'm not sure at all of what the fuck that was all about. But it locked my mouse, so that's interesting. I gotta see if I can find another program for streaming this situation. So it's really weird that I'm using the run button and the dodge button simultaneously. What? Oh. What was that? Someone just... Why didn't that show up? That's strange. Did anyone know what the hell that was? Anyone watching? Did the moose just attack? Something is going horribly wrong here. plant seed. What the hell am I getting plant seeds for? Alright, whatever. I don't know. I don't know what it is with RPGs and fishing, but fucking every game, it's not even RPGs. Like, for fuck's sakes, Far Cry? Far Cry 5 has a bunch of fishing, and apparently it's necessary to a certain degree. I think they made me do a mission on purpose. I don't like by accident. Just because. Like, oh, we think you'll enjoy fishing. I'm playing a futuristic post-apocalyptic world with sexy androids running around blowing shit up. Why the hell do I want to go fishing? Unless she makes sexy animations while fishing. You guys want to see if she makes sexy animations while fishing? Let's find out. Next time it says go fishing, I'm gonna go fishing. Alright. Where's that fishing spot? Let's see if they they're probably gonna make me buy a goddamn fishing rod and spend money on it. I don't mean in-game in-game currency, not like not real currency. So one of the reviewers that I was watching for this game talked about how the game is actually quite a bit of fun, which it is. I just have to relearn the controls completely. But like the camera always shifts down towards her butt, so you always get this upskirt shot, and I have to keep pressing the button to not see that.
Commencing fishing.
There it is, fishing. Okay, so he's the fishing.
Catch lost.
So I throw my robot in.
Report failed.
Okay, well this is just weird. You guys think there's any fish here?
Report failed.
This is just weird.
Complete.
What was she leaning on? I'm pressing the same button. It says same button to reel it in. Yeah, fish, fish. Okay, so let's do this again. Cast. Cast and reel is the same button. So it sits down, and it just sits there. And then it says reel in. But any button I press, it just comes back. So let's try this again. It's just sitting there. And then... what is she sitting on? Nope. Anything I press...
Report failed.
Maybe there has to be fish. Because you could just sit there. I could just sit there and watch him, right?
Report failed. Complete.
Okay. Let's find a spot I can see fish in. And then I'll try and catch the fish. If there's fish. So far I don't see any fish. There was areas I did see fish, so I'm gonna see if I can find any. Like, I think it's like a Zelda game or whatever. You know, you can always see the fish when you go fishing, and then you gotta get the crap as close to the fish as you can. It could be just a waiting game. This might. I don't know. Does anyone will look up the tutorial for this game and how to fish properly? The stick? It's a stick. There it is. There, it looks like a bigger area you can fish in. And it's a waterfall.
Commencing.
Okay, enter to start fishing. And then enter to reel in. Okay, at least floating. Guessing there might be an auto fishing. Oh. Oh, there it is. I caught a fish. You just have to sit there. Is that it? That's what I do. So he just sits there and he floats down the river. And then once he dunks underwater, I have to reel it in. Just like real fishing, guys. Just like real fishing.
Report. Fresh.
Okay. What is she sitting on? He looks bored too. Oh, whatever.
Catch complete.
Whatever. That was enough. That's enough. Let's go fight the giant robot, apparently, because I have a lot of mission-ish stuff, and it seems to be on that side of the map. So let's go fight the giant robot again. Hopefully, I will remember that these controls work the way they do. Oh, there's two of them now. Fantastic. Oh, he's just flying towards me. That's bullshit. He's so hell-bent on attacking. What's in here? I guess it's a somewhat different environment. Huh. Fishing is definitely not sexy. No, no, it's not. Level 25. Get a few shots in. Ah, run away, run away. Oh. There we go. I still don't know how to use these tools, but sorry, the medium recoveries or whatever. Let's see. Yeah, that's bullshit. What? What? Stop locking on. Slowly chipping away at this one. Well, where's my teammate over there? And dead. All right.
Hi, Loki.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Hey, do you want in my server?
Sure. Send me a link. How you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. I just got out of class. So.
Oh.
How you doing? How's the game?
It's we just discovered that fishing is really boring in this game. Like, really boring. I don't know why there's fishing in this game to begin with. Yeah. Otherwise, oh, I just got killed.
Oh, well, don't talk to me. Don't die.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So fishing's really boring. It's really simple and not interesting at all. I don't know why this game even has fishing. Maybe there's some missions down the road that like require you to get fish, and then you do the most boring thing in the world. You throw your robot in the water, and then he catches fish for you.
Oh, that sounds a little too easy.
Yeah, he just kind of sits there floating, and the moment he's done floating, and he goes underwater is the moment you reel him in. And once you reel him in, you caught the fish. It's really boring. There's no fishing rod,
Sounds
nothing.
Easy. Sounds really easy, man. Okay. Well, enjoy your game.
I will.
I'm gonna go watch some YouTube videos. Sticks put out some new videos. I'm gonna go watch them.
Ooh.
I just want to know if you wanted it on my server because you had left a while back and I didn't know if you wanted back in or not.
Sure. Invite me in. I'm clearly tired of a lot of shit, so.
I noticed.
I'll
I
be
saw
around.
the whole fight. I saw the whole fight. I saw all the drama. I even tried to help stop the drama. And
No, I saw you guys try to help, but you can see.
But here's my thing.
Yes.
I'm sorry. My headphone disconnected. Go ahead again. What were you saying?
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
My thing is I did try to stop some of it, you know, from happening, but I don't think that's what Ezekiel wanted. I think Ezekiel wanted to complain and throw a tantrum because it came off to me like a tantrum, but I don't know him as well as everybody else does.
Oh, it was a tantrum for
And
sure.
he wanted everybody to fix it right away. And just to further my point, he honest to God thought that he was the catalyst that set that all off. And he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. Like I said, this is well. Look, I put it out in all of my things that I left Trigger server originally. I want to be demodded because I want to not deal with all the bullshit anymore. I didn't want to babysit people. I didn't want to deal with any of the crap. I just wanted a place to go hang out, and it was becoming a chore. That server itself has become a giant fucking chore where I don't even go into it anymore, let alone voice channel or anything else. Because every time I do, there's problems. I started to have problems in this server too. The other day, Varen threw a shit fit during a live stream about how I'm not running this server the way he wants.
The gaming server?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What did he say?
Well, he says I'm running it wrong and I should be running it differently.
Okay.
I don't know. He tried to make some kind of point, but then he gave up halfway through. Made some false equivalencies, which was ridiculous to me, because he decided to do it not like in private, not talk to me personally, but just fucking go off on during the live stream. It's not worthy of his role, and I'm kind of really tired of just having to deal with people constantly complaining about how I do things. And yeah, just.
Well, you don't have to worry about that in my server because I'm the only one that has power in there, like literal power, and it is a place where you can do whatever you want. I don't care as long as you're not harassing anybody.
Okay, that's good.
I mean, literally, it's not any different than before. You remember I originally started up that server because of the Fenrir thing?
Yes.
And then when we concluded that there was really nothing there, I turned it into just a place where you could share information. And I tailored the roles to the people's abilities. So, like, I'm the only one that can create an invite, for instance, which means people that are not wanted in the server, like people that will do stupid shit, can't come in. Can't just come in by somebody else's invite. They have to run it through me first.
Right.
You know? So that means I'm responsible if something goes to shit, right?
Right.
Right. And you can post in all the channels, but you can't join certain channels, like the Olympian that I set up. The Olympian channel. That's only the top people, which right now would just be me and Varen. If you join, I'll give you your mod set. If you join, then that means you'd be the only one of those 3 people that can do that. But everybody else can go everywhere else and post everywhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't even mind porn, for that matter. I really don't. I don't have a channel for it, but I don't really mind the porn. Nobody ever posts porn in my server for some reason.
That's
they just
surprising.
go there to share memes and shit and articles.
Isn't Magic in there?
Magic is in there, but he doesn't post porn.
Ah.
Yeah, he doesn't.
That is surprising to a great extent.
I agree.
Well, okay. I'll join it up after I'm done here.
Sure.
Sign it.
Holy fuck, Bearded is online.
Bearded? Yeah, he's been online all day.
Well, I will say this, though, Loki, about the whole thing with the Deep Dark Void. That was actually kind of unfortunate because I liked that server before all this started happening. I really did.
Yes. And I did too. But I guess just people don't seem to understand basic social etiquette. And I don't understand why, but then I remember that there's a very good reason they're called autists.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I'm gonna grab some water real quick. Hold that thought.
All right.
Alright, I'm back.
Hello.
Hi. No, the narcissism and the I don't really know how to word it, but it's like complaining and That's all very draining. It really is. And
It doesn't
just
stop.
yeah, I agree with that.
It doesn't fucking stop. And
Right.
look. It's not like Ezekiel doesn't talk to me on a daily basis. Like, daily. Like, I spent a lot of the wedding just shooting texts back and forth with him during the thing. It was
Yeah.
actually kind of boring, but... Like, I literally talked to him the night before. I drive in to the city. I drive back in home. I open my fucking logs, and there's just spam and bullshit everywhere. Like,
So his accusation of you never talking to him about the issue in specific was bogus.
it was within not even a 24-hour period, because at 2 a.m. I was still on my phone talking to people on Discord, specifically him.
Yep.
And
I can vouch for that.
yeah, and at like 9, what time did I get home? I got in at 9 p.m. the next day. And there's a giant shit fit because his issues weren't dealt with at that exact second. And you know what? I know that Psylocke has been doing his whole thing and trying to fucking piss me off for the past, what, 3 weeks? 4 weeks? How long has he been fucking going at me for?
I don't know. A month?
Yeah.
Since you left the other server?
Since I left the other server. I've been telling Mark to just kick him because he's not a productive member. He's not an interesting member. And he's never had a single interesting thing to say. Mark said he'll talk to him. And then Mark never did end up talking to him. So, this is just the way things go.
Well, you should have asked me to talk to him because I can talk to Psylocke pretty well. I'm pretty good at talking.
Maybe. I don't need to talk to him. He knows what he's doing. Again, this is part of that whole babysitting thing. Psylocke knows what he's doing. It's not like he's unaware of his actions. It's not like he doesn't pride himself off of being a giant shitlord and causing shit. It's his goal. It's not an unintended consequences of his actions. It is the intended it is literally the intent of his actions. So, why do I even want people like him around then?
I don't know. Part of being a autonomous, self-governing individual creature, you have the right and the responsibility to tailor your surroundings to your comfort level. You know?
I would think so.
Yeah. So if somebody is really bothering you by their behavior, you have rights. The right as a cognizant individual to step away from them. You know?
Oh, by the way, did you see the memes that he posted? I didn't delete them. They're still there.
Yes, I did.
So
see
apparently
them.
they've been sitting around and talking shit about me in other servers as well, and they've just been waiting to fucking pop that one in.
Yeah, I
To
know.
Deep Dark Void. So not only is it an intended reaction, whatever the fuck it is, but he's been very not very. Let's just say that he's wanted this reaction for quite a long time just to be able to present his memes. And I'm glad he finally thought one up that was original. I really am. It took a while. I still don't understand how any of that applies to me, because that just shows his misunderstanding and just general misunderstanding of what's been said or what's been done. But that's all right too. He also has a problem with this server because it's PG-13. And that's apparently yeah. Psylocke's been going on, and what is it? Trigger called me a pedophile the other day in the DMs because I have a PG-13 server.
I don't know what happened between the two of you. I really don't, Loki. I don't know what happened. I came online one day and was like, "What the fuck?" You two were yelling at each other.
No, not yelling.
Of the channels on this server.
People can't read tone, obviously, on the internet. It's been a while that he's been giving me shit for dumpster fire. I think I've expressed this several times before between you, Varen, and a bunch of other people that like I'm really bored in dumpster fire. I don't care. And every time I go on a rant, I get shit for it. Apparently, like, he doesn't want me to rant. He doesn't want me to go on about shit. And that's literally the only thing I don't know, whatever. Dumpster fire got boring and it got annoying.
Kind of part of your personality, Loki.
Yes. So I got really bored. If he doesn't want me to rant and he doesn't want me to talk about it, what the fuck do I care about some small politician in Missouri doing some shit? Like, literally, why the fuck have me on? if you don't want me to get drunk and rant as literally part of my whole online personality, whatever the fuck I do. I don't have to get drunk. It's just part of the hilarious thing. He also went on to continuously tell me, like, he has complained about me ranting on his live stream, but then I get bored and I don't show up. And when I don't show up, he starts bitching at me that I'm not shilling his dumpster fire when I'm not on it, which is also really strange. Why the fuck would I shill a show when I'm not on?
I don't know.
So,
I shill for you guys all the time, so, and I don't get anything out of it.
I know. No, I'm just saying, like, literally a show doesn't want me on. So I said, fine. I even shilled him a couple of times when I wasn't on. And that's perfectly fine with me. But I want it off, because literally there's nothing going on there with me. And I wanted to stop being an admin on his server, because literally, the same bullshit. People just constantly bitching, complaining, and showing up to chat to just yell over everyone else. And that's boring. That's just boring to me. I'm sorry, I don't care. I literally don't care. The other whole point was that I'm literally trying to make my life a little bit more stable. And whatever the fuck is going on in those servers is not making my life more stable. It's just more stress and garbage. I told him to de-admin me, because I never wanted adminship in that server to begin with. I told him to take it off, and he told me not to. He said, keep it, in case you ever want to do anything. And by ever want to do anything, I mean, like, literally do everything in that server.
Hello, Mr. Schnitzel and Fred.
And I told him to demod me, and then he threw a shit fit. And then for the next week or so, he just kept antagonizing me. And then kept saying, I have a problem with him, and I should address my problem with him. And I literally stopped giving a shit. And just all of his passive-aggressive actions just completely led to me not wanting to be in that server to begin with. Everything I did, everything I said was now a thing for him and Psynock to meme at and joke at and laugh at. He's still messaging Siggy to this day, talking shit about me. I don't bring it up. I don't really talk about it, but that's definitely happening. Like, I find it ironic about the level of complaining that he does. And generally, I overall got tired of his... What do you call it? Oh, shit. I don't
think of it.
Victim mentality. That's it. Hello, Dennis Mar. How's it going? Just everything that happens around him is apparently not his fault. Even when I did confront him about the fact that I paid for the t-shirt 6 months ago, and he still hasn't fucking given it to me. He told me that I'm being stupid and that I never asked for them, when I've clearly asked for them a long time ago, and then I refused. Like, it's just the whole thing. I don't care. Like, when his money didn't go through, he blamed the bank and he blamed PayPal, as opposed to the fact that he didn't have any money. And that just made me not want to work with him at all anymore, like, ever, about anything. Like, he just blames everyone else for everything. And there's zero responsibility. And considering he literally runs his channel off of notions like personal responsibility and capitalism, he's not doing very much for any of it. Like, how can you have personal responsibility when someone's unhappy in your server and he goes, it's not my fault that you're unhappy in the server? Okay, it's not your fault then. Just let me not be admin. And let me go on about my way, because I literally don't have time for this shit. I don't want time for this shit. I need to focus on work and life and a bunch of other shit. And he apparently couldn't handle it. Just constant attack and attack after attack. Yeah, I posted. There's a reason I posted all the screenshots of the conversations I was having with him. Because I really need to point out that I don't want to work with you because you don't care about YouTube. He goes, yeah, I don't care about YouTube. I'm like, okay, well, like, you're literally admitting that you don't give a shit about YouTube. So why the fuck do you want me to work with you on YouTube? He goes, YouTube is stupid. I don't care. I'm like, just don't fucking work with me then. Are you mad that I'm not working with you on YouTube if literally you don't give a shit about YouTube? And I go, you don't care about anyone, and you don't care about other things. You don't bother to build relationships with people. And he goes, yeah, I hate everyone. I'm like, again. That's literally my point. And it just keeps going in this weird cyclical fashion where I don't understand how it's not reaching him. And I just don't care anymore. I don't care about that. I went off to do my own thing. And apparently he found the fact that I wanted to go do my own... Like, you can see that the fact that I have a gaming server of my own is really bothering him, since him and Psylocke literally spent months. A month now, maybe? 2 months? Fucking making fun of the server. When literally they both have like 3 or 4 gaming servers of their own. Trigger's even gone on as far as to tell Siggy that I'm actually just really mad at him, and that's why this is happening, because he doesn't come play video games with me anymore. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just tired of all of it, and the fact that this moved on to the Deep Dark Void for some reason. And in there, people started fucking harassing me about Trigger shit and about the same admin bullshit I didn't want to deal with to begin with. It's just too much. I'll give the server up to somebody if they want it, but I'm not going to be in it, and there's just too much.
Well, Loki, there's no server left. Most of the people that were in that server are now not in that server, so...
Yep.
It's been gutted.
Yep.
Damn.
I just die? I really have to learn to fucking save in this game. Especially getting killed by a boar. Oh, come on. It's frustrating and it's annoying, and I'm just gonna focus on live streaming here, and then be more productive in real life, and then that's it.
Right. Okay.
Oh, I'm so
There
fucking
you are.
retarded. I kept myself muted, like an idiot. Excuse me for the intro swear. I will not swear from here on out.
All right. So what's going on with you?
What you up to?
Just playing Nier Automata.
Nier Automata. Never heard of that.
It's probably for the best. I mean, no one has, but I don't. I'm
Is
having
it
fun.
one of those like JRPG things?
Possibly.
Okay, yeah, no. If I play those, I get ADHD and like fucking weird shit.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a thing.
Hold on. Dennis, I could play Fortnite. I have it installed, but I don't want to.
Oh god.
I don't want to. I much rather go play something else. I need a full team in Fortnite, and we need to be able to communicate and know what we're doing, and that rarely happens.
I went from thinking it was an okay game to hating it.
How come? Hello?
What?
Alright, well, I said, how come?
How come? Oh no, I didn't hear you. How come? Because it's just it's so frustrating. The whole concept of that this game is built on is too frustrating for me to bear.
What's the concept?
The battle royale thing where you have to survive like one against 100 people. Practically, is what it is. I mean, I like games where you can be rewarded for kill streaks, but if that's the entire idea behind your game, then no, sorry. I'm not gonna play it for very long.
Okay. So that's another person out from Fortnite. I spent way too much of my life
Yes.
playing Counter-Strike anyway. It's time for something new. I also spent a lot of time playing, what's it called? Overwatch.
The Last Jedi is the most divisive issue of our time since slavery. Random comment I read somewhere.
Yeah, that sounds about right for this generation.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much discussion about why it's good and why other reviewers are shit and why it's shit and why other reviewers again are shit. It's it's the basic bitch circle jerk thing all over again.
I see. Well, look, Star Wars hasn't been good since the original three, and even the original three weren't that good.
Um, nah. I think the original three were alright movies, but I've never been like one of those crazy fans.
Why would you? You're like 20. There's no
Yeah.
point of anyone being a fanatic over a movie that came out like 40 years ago. 50 years ago? What is it, 60 years old now?
I don't know.
1977. There you go.
Excuse me. I was gonna do something, but I keep forgetting what it was.
That happens.
Oh,
Did
by
you
the
get
way,
hot?
is Cat still in here? Yeah, Cat's still in here.
Cat's muted
I
herself.
I am here.
Yeah.
What's
So, yeah. I'm probably gonna record tomorrow, and it would be very much.
I'm finishing it up right now.
Oh, okay.
Literally just finished recording
I'm
it.
such an asshole.
No, you're fine. I didn't have a chance to do it last night because I fell asleep. So I tried to get the pitch
Yeah.
the same. I couldn't exactly replicate the distortion, but the pitch is the same. So outside of that, I don't know if you were planning on modifying the track at all, but that's exactly good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be good.
Okay. I just don't have my my normal mic, so you're probably gonna get some background noise. I don't know if you plan on doing something about that. Even if you did, I
No,
don't think anybody would
that's
notice.
fine. I think my editing tool has options to eradicate the background noise entirely.
Okay.
I'm not sure how well they work in practice, but in theory I should be able to eliminate that.
There you go. I just sent it to you. I had to label the track. For those of you who are curious, yeah, for those of you who might be curious, I did some voice work for Mr. Schnipp.
Nice.
Yeah, the first time, by the way, I got that track, the first track of the Alien Girl that you sent me was the first time I listened to it and I got to the part with the gag ball and all that.
Uh-huh.
I was laughing out loud.
Yeah?
That's really funny. Yeah, I'm not sure why. It's just something about hearing someone I know say those lines. Also,
Yeah, I could imagine so, especially a female. That's really funny.
yeah. How many females are into that sort of stuff anyway?
Are we getting into porn conversations?
No, keep it PG-13. Your rules, Lucky.
Well, I'm not gonna mention. Yeah, I'm just not gonna mention what it actually was, so that PG-13 can be maintained.
Good, good.
Loki, don't do the Loki threatening voice. You're bad at it.
What threatening voice?
You're whatever. Who cares?
He's saying you're having a dark and foreboding voice that's threatening.
Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying good. I'll go watch the video later, find out what all the moaning and screaming was.
Hey, I don't even know what it's about.
It's gonna be different than you expect, probably. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be like a full-on porn scene or something.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, it's not. It was. That was just like a joke thing because I'm bad at making jokes and I need something to keep the video interesting.
Yes.
Alright, guys. I'm out. I'm gonna go watch some videos.
Alright,
See you
take
later.
care.
All right. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Loki, I found out that Far Cry's soundtrack was in part made by my favorite musician, so that's the reason I'll buy it.
Oh. Well, I found out that most of the Far Cry soundtrack keeps getting my videos restricted. So, good luck dealing with that.
I'm never gonna actually post gameplay on my channel, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Good.
I mean, Fortnite I did do, but that's a free game, so
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm not sure why Fortnite. I mean, if you're playing games online, then why would you be restricted? It's literally like an advertisement for their game.
Yes.
Why would you be struck down?
No, they just got restricted in certain countries, and I got my monetization taken away, which is funny because I don't have monetization to begin with. I wonder how that works. They keep taking away my monetization. I'm like, but I don't have monetization. They're like, some ads will appear in your video.
Yeah, I think what they do is they just decide, like, you're not able to monetize your videos, but they just decide that the companies that made the music that you're being striked for
Get the money for my video.
should be paid money for your video.
Yes.
So you're not getting any money because you're under a certain amount of subscribers, but the company that made the music of the game that you're playing does deserve money from your creation, which is literally, it's the biggest bollocks ever.
Well, that's what YouTube wants to do. It's what YouTube wants to do. Who am I to argue against the grand corporate interests of YouTube?
Nobody.
Exactly. Nobody.
I was just wondering. I mean, there's the whole, demotivating YouTubers to make content. I can understand, like, if you're not familiar with the YouTube system and you just made a YouTube channel and you're going along happily making videos about games, and maybe you use the soundtrack here and there, and then you're not getting any money for it, but you're okay with that, and then all of a sudden that appears, like some ads might appear, but the money goes to some company. That's
corporate interests. Proceed with corporate interests. This isn't new. Aren't you also one of these skeptic people on YouTube who also wants to talk about corporate interests?
Of course, no, I know this. I mean, I know this, but I was talking a hypothetical situation where someone who doesn't know this sort of stuff, is faced by that problem that might be demotivating. So it's quite literally two flies in one punch. You're
two
both
birds with one stone?
Demotivating a YouTuber and you're making money of their creation, which they are not making money of, I suppose.
Yeah, but that's YouTube's new platform, right? It's fuck the little guys. It's let's invite corporate interests onto YouTube and do our own thing.
Yeah, exactly. Is it? Oh.
But again, that's the whole point, right? Hold on, has anyone seen the video by Dr. Lehman about why we're gonna lose YouTube to the leftists? Anyone?
No.
Fred, I think you posted the video a while back.
I believe we will. I
What do you mean we will? We
maybe-
already have.
Nah. I mean, they can demotivate, but clearly the people who really matter don't really fucking care. So they just don't go away. They're like cockroaches. They'll never be burned out of the hell that is YouTube.
Well, I wouldn't call YouTube hell. Like, they're still giving me a free product right now. Like, right now, I am for free streaming to potentially billions of people. Potentially. I'm not saying that's the fact, because clearly only 2 people are watching, and it might be you 2. But potentially, I have the ability to go worldwide with my live streams.
But on the other side of the discussion is Stick saying that we might actually defeat the legacy media in the long run.
No.
Narratively speaking, as in a paradigm shift.
Hold on, but who actually... Okay, I will agree that there's a possibility of things like that happening. But in practice, what are we all doing? At the very least, the media only doesn't argue with itself. The only thing that's happening on YouTube and everywhere else is that everyone's just sitting around arguing and attacking each other.
Yeah, and that's exactly the problem that he points out. That's what we need to stop doing.
Well, we can't stop doing it because, okay, this is the thing I've been talking about. We can't stop doing it because we don't have a ideology, anything that we actually work towards together. We're just a loose collection of people who just want to make their money off of, well, what are we even doing now? I've been complaining about clickbait. What the fuck they call it? Outrage-based clickbaiting. And that's all everyone's doing now. And I personally don't care about it anymore, or never did, and probably won't. And people are just gonna continue doing it. And can you really make a brand off of outrage? And then hope to actually maintain that brand without needing to attack people within your own community, within your own sphere, within your own spectrum? Like, do you know what? Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. I came across a very, very interesting point. I watched a bunch of Mr. Mediker before the Crown T thing came out, because I didn't watch Mr. Mediker. It didn't seem like something I want to watch. But when I started checking it out before the Crown T thing came out, I sat down and I was going through it. And I'm like, okay, this is outrage, 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 and it was all outrage. And I'm like, this is really well produced outrage clickbait culture, but how accurate is it? So when I watched the Crown T situation, I remember I know Crown T, I've talked to him, he told me a lot of this shit. And what happened? Everyone freaked out, everyone got outraged, everyone yelled, everyone started making fun of Crown T for the nipple clamps, for this, for that. I'm like, but the subtlety has been lost on every individual that watched that entire video. Mr. Medical presented points that don't matter at all. Like, do you care that Crown T got bullied in school? Is that an important aspect to Crown T's argument? To Crown T's position? To anything? Do you need to laugh at his nipple clamps? Or are you just being a childish retard? Who's literally one of those high school kids that go, he got kicked in the nuts. He has nipple clamps. Well, why do I care?
I'm sorry.
No, but it's worse than that. He directed so much of the anger towards Crown T to all these people on the internet that people completely forewent the entire notion that Sargon was the one that's more so doxed. Whoever the fuck that guy was. It wasn't even Crown T who doxed him. It was Sargon who doxed him. And then no one's fucking... Like, these people are just mindless consumers of information. They don't actually think about what they watch or how they're ingesting the information. Anita Sarkeesian was right. The more you think it doesn't affect you, the more it absolutely affects you. A lot of the people I talk to do it all the time. I get into arguments about this shit with every fucking YouTuber I meet. A lot of what they complain about is literally the shit they do themselves. Well, why am I laughing? Like, why was I laughing and fucking making fun of Politipod not making fun of him, just arguing with him the other day on the stream?
I didn't watch.
No, okay,
I've been a while.
it doesn't matter. The point was that he goes, oh, I am a libertarian, I'm this, I'm that, and also cryptocurrency is the way to go. And he's telling me about how he's building this $1,600 machine to mine cryptocurrency. But I know as a fact that the cryptocurrency is only worth it if it goes any further up in price. And right now, he's spending more money on electricity than he is actually making off the cryptocurrency. So he spent $1,600, and now he's spending even more money to make less money. And I asked him, how does that make sense to you as a libertarian, as a rational being, as a rational human being? How does it make sense to spend $1,600 on something and then spend even more money on the electricity than the cryptocurrency you're making? How does that make sense? How are you claiming to everyone on the internet right now that you're making money? He laughed at me and said I'm a retard and I don't understand how things work. I still haven't had him explain it to me. Can anyone explain to me how spending $1,600 on a gaming rig to fucking mine cryptocurrency is by spending electricity that literally, like, in the long run costs more? And he says, I don't care because my parents pay for the electricity. So, what is happening here? Is it ideological? Is it just pure retardation?
Wait, his parents. So he's like, are his parents the big government to him? Giving him
no.
money, literally.
He's just spending his parents' money and slowly re-siphoning it into his own account. Is basically what I'm seeing.
I was trying to joke, but
Sure.
I didn't get it. I was like, okay, right.
Add
so
some sex
you
noises
said
to
he
it.
was a libertarian, right?
Right.
So the joke I was trying to make was related to big government and small government, and the fact that, you know, the whole. The thing that big government does is give money to people who need it in their eyes or something like that.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the fuck am I talking about?
Okay, fine. But, dude,
I don't understand the American libertarian position that well.
it's not a libertarian position. I still have yet to discover like I also still don't understand what the fuck people are talking about. I really want to know. I really want someone to explain it to me in a way that doesn't seem like it's borderline retarded. And I haven't been able to get anyone to explain it to me. In fact, a few libertarian meetups I went to, I laughed at the children because they don't know. They just don't understand how their own governments work. Which makes it that much more retarded that they think that they came up with a brand new system. But they literally just want to reinstate the system they currently have for the system that they currently have. They just want a reset button, which just makes you a progressive anarchist, actually, not an actual libertarian. So that's the whole point, is that they don't seem to know what they're talking about, and they won't.
Right. So with sticks and hammers, would you say? He is a libertarian. Would you say?
I don't know. I don't watch Sticks and Hammer.
You don't watch Sticks and Hammer.
I don't watch Sticks and Hammer.
I mean, he's an interesting bloke. I've only recently really dipped into his videos. I listen to them as audio books, basically, when I'm working and I'm bored. And he does propose some interesting theories on, for example, his beliefs of paganism and you know what the Church of Satan actually is, rather than what most people believe it to be. It's interesting.
I refuse to play the no true Scotsman fallacy. That's also unnecessary for me, because he will say that no Satanists are this way or Satanists are that way. I've known many different types of Satanists, and they're all different types of Satanists, so there's no one true Satanist. But there are absolutely people that want to molest children and drink their blood as Satanists, as opposed to fucking Luciferians. I talked about this in my fucking podcast. There are Luciferians that have one direction that they do things in, and there are Satanists that do things in other ways, and there's different sections of everything. It was the same problem that Sargon had with his liberalist movement. Everyone who joins his movement for different reasons, and therefore it's not a movement. Just like the libertarians are joining a movement for whatever the fuck their reasons are, not any actual reason, not a unified front. This is why all these things fall apart. Right? Like, what do skeptics do that's makes them particularly interesting? That makes them unified enough for them to stick together? Because we know that the fuck are they called? The atheists fell apart to feminism instantly because they had no unifying front, because they didn't have anything they actually stood for. Skeptics are also falling apart right now. So what's left when the skeptics are gone? What are we gonna have? A bunch of libertarians that are gonna fall apart? The left doesn't have to attack us. There's nothing to attack here. At least the leftists have a relatively not a unified front, because it's not.
They do.
Who?
The left do attack us.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they
Absolutely.
don't. How are they attacking us?
Why do you think they write hit pieces on people like PewDiePie?
Okay, but that's not
and
the
John
left.
Connor?
That is individuals. Within your own definition of what things are, this is the problem. The left is individuals. The right is individuals. Everyone is an individual. You can either come collectively to achieve a goal, or you're just gonna fail. Just because, like, you heard my entire speech on why Anita Sarkeesian was actually right to call Sargon garbage humans.
No, I didn't, and I don't think he was right.
You
And
don't
I
think
will
he was right?
probably never think that she is right.
No, that you wouldn't, but she was. She was right. Well, why is Anita Sarkeesian a bad person? What did she ever do to you?
So wait. So you're you've taken a position where any of us have ever said that she is a bad person.
What?
Is she? Who said that?
A lot of
Who
people
said
say
that
it.
she's
A lot of
bad
people go on about how much they hate Anita Sarkeesian. A lot of people's channels are built around Anita Sarkeesian. Sargon's channel was built around hating
Yes,
Anita Sarkeesian.
and again, the.
Do you not watch Sargon? Do you not follow
What you're
him?
missing here is that most people say they hate Anita Sarkeesian, but what they actually mean is they hate her ideas. They just don't know how to bring it to words. This is a common misconception that people make.
So you're saying Sargon himself has misconstrued and misconcepted the majority of his channel's content? That Thunderfoot just didn't understand?
Of course!
So all these people are just
do
retards.
this all the time. People misconstrue their own and misconstruct their own content all the time. I've done it.
Okay, well, there you go. Then you're going to be in the same category as people who literally misrepresent themselves and their content. And when you start misrepresenting yourself in the content, what do you actually believe in then? What is your intent on misrepresenting your content?
I don't think there is an.
Hold on. Fuckwad, I know she's not a good person. That doesn't mean that she's not right. Not about the gamers bullshit, not about any of the other stuff, but about calling Sargon a garbage human. Or let's say about complaining about retards on the internet. Or feeling like she's being bullied. Go ahead.
Is she being bullied then?
Is she? She absolutely perceives it that way. And I know why. I can see why. This is what I said. I have a whole rant about this. I go on about this all the time.
I've never heard you say these things before, though.
Okay, fine. I'll walk you through it. Sorry, guys, for those of you who feel like this is a repeat at this point. It's really simple. Do you know who Anita Sarkeesian is?
Yes, of course I know.
Okay.
Who Sarkeesian is. I've never made a video about her. I don't bother.
Okay, no, but you understand that she was like a TA or she worked at the university, right? You know that. You know she's not a YouTuber, right? You know she doesn't.
She's a STEM artist. That's why.
No. That's your perception of what she is based on the evidence you have, and that's fine. You're absolutely allowed to perceive things that way. Here's the information I have. She is not a YouTuber. She has nothing to do with YouTube. She doesn't fucking know shit about YouTube. She's a TA. She was or some bullshit at a university. Now, when she decided to sit down and make her videos, those are videos that she was asked to make as informational videos for the school. These, right? You know that, right?
I understand.
Okay,
I
so
understand the principle of political propaganda.
sure, pro-political. You can call it pro-political propaganda, but as a TA, she's still working on her doctorate or whatever, and she was asked to perform an assignment. She was asked to put together an informational position for the people for her school. This is a job that she was performing. Now, people like Sargon and Thunderfoot decided to jump on her and point out that...
Before or after she put up the Patreon?
What? This is way before.
Is this before or after
Before.
Yes, I understand. Just continue your story. It was just a question.
Well, I answered the question. It's before. So while she was doing her fucking videos, she was putting them out there, and what is she getting out of it? She, not knowing the customs, the merits, the understanding of what YouTube is, was putting out information videos that she was paid and told to perform, to put out, as part of a lecture series. On what was it? It's deconstruction of Western video game ideals or some bullshit like that. And how they're inherently non-feminist? I don't know what the fuck the whole thing was. I never watched her videos. And all of a sudden, there's hundreds of thousands of people that show up and start attacking her on the internet about how she is a dumb, stupid cunt who doesn't understand anything. And how she's stupid as fuck. Do you see how that could be surprising and maybe perceived as bullying because some people on the internet misrepresented what's happening? Because you just talked about how the same people that we're talking about constantly and often misrepresent the information that they put out there for the higher clicks, for better optics, for getting their point across better.
Oh, but this is wait. So, if I'm getting this right, the first few videos that she made as a school project, and then afterwards was the whole Patreon thing where she asked for money.
The Patreon thing was when people gave her money to perform, to put together a better deconstruction of that video. That's already deep into the political aspect of it. Why did she not finish them? Did she not finish them because she was being too lazy? Or did she not finish them because the Patreon money that she got for it, and the fame that she got from Sargon attacking her and Thunderfoot attacking her, got her so much publicity and so much bullshit that Sargon and fucking Thunderfoot literally skyrocketed her fame, popularity, and notoriety to such a degree where she got a goddamn seat at the UN.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. I mean, the bullying thing. I was never of the opinion in the first place that that's all justified. It is terrible, but I was always of the opinion that it's something that all YouTubers receive, and I understand that. Which you explained.
But she's not a YouTuber.
Ago. This was new information to me, by the way, that she didn't know how YouTube worked.
Right.
I suppose that's fair enough, yeah.
She's not a YouTuber. She's literally a TA at a university.
It can be scary to put yourself out there on a platform that
like Siggy, hold on. Siggy's already prepared to put herself out there. She's there. She's making videos with me. She's making content. She's doing her thing, and she still breaks down whenever fucking people give her negativity. She still fucking hates it. She's just trying to do something good. She's very kind-hearted. She's very simple. She's a feeling individual who just wants everyone to get along. And she puts out a video out there about how she disagrees with the political lefts literally doing a lot of retarded shit. And people come on and go, "Oh, fuck her. She's a dumb bitch." And she's like, what the fuck did I do to deserve this "fuck you, you're a dumb bitch" attitude from people? Like, I get it. I get their shit. I already made an entire career. My entire personality revolves around the fact that I already know that shitty people will ruin shitty things for people because they're just shit people. And he is right. They're garbage people. Like, almost nothing that's Mr. Mediker said about Kraut T was new or interesting information to me. And I think he completely misrepresented a lot of what was happening, specifically for the clicks and the views, to get outraged idiots to fucking follow him along in hating people. Because that's what they do. Who cares? At this point, it's who cares. Kraut T was right about a lot of the shit that he did. People might not agree with him doxing people, or the doxing servers, or whatever the fuck. And yeah, that was shitty. But everyone's already pointed out that wasn't him. That was other people. And yeah, it's a problem associating with things. But I just said, shitty people do shitty things and ruin it for everybody. He associated with shitty people thinking that they would be his allies. They weren't his allies.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with I've never compared these two situations, but now that you lay that out for me, it's actually an interesting comparison, because I hated Mr. Mediker's content long before. I don't know why I kept watching it, probably because of clickbait. But I hated it long before the whole Kraut and T situation. There was always something about his voice that I didn't like. I personally think he's a nihilist, but yeah, that's relevant. Yeah.
Well, what does he care about?
I suppose that's an interesting comparison. Yeah. And in that aspect, I can actually agree with you that online harassment like that is a reason to retaliate, or at least, you know, call the people you'd give them back what you received.
So that's my spiel. Right now, I don't know if you've been watching my my podcast, which I haven't put out a couple in a while. But I'm going to be putting out actual what do you call it, conservative ideals. I'm really tired of this nihilistic leftist garbage, and you know what? A lot of people might be right. The trolls are literally the opposite of everything that I want. They continuously show a lack of accountability, a lack of responsibility, a lack of understanding, a lack of empathy, and a giant lack of self-control. And is that people you want to associate with? Or is this because it's internet culture is acceptable? Like, how many people need to come into my... Like I said, I was just going through this bullshit. People keep coming into my Discord, not having a single interesting thing to say, spamming garbage everywhere, going, "It's just a joke, bro, lol." And when I mute them or kick them out, people start complaining and crying that I literally don't want shitty people in my fucking house doing shitty things.
Yeah, I noticed, by the way, I'm no longer in the other server. Did you shut it down?
It's shut down, yeah. It's done. I'm only going to be in other people's servers. Like, I have way too much fucking bullshit to deal with. Like, you have no idea. There was just days and days of garbage in there where I have to continuously fucking deal with people whose asses need wiping. And it's surprising how many people are in there that need their fucking ass wiped for them. Who literally don't know. Like I said, don't chill. This is not a YouTube server. Stop fucking throwing in garbage videos that nobody gives a shit about. And that was more towards Politipod, because Politipod doesn't participate there, but he would show up just to show his fucking channel and fuck off. He even told me he doesn't want to be in the server, but he'll come in once in a while. And apparently what he meant by come in once in a while was just to show up, to shill his currently live stream, and then fuck off. And then not have a single interaction with people. Why are you in my server? It's not a YouTube shilling server. It's not for you to shill yourself. It's just a place for me to want to hang out with people. And it's like people don't get that. So it started the whole.
I have been fairly inactive as well. I don't chill though.
No, you don't chill. See, you're pretty good at that. You do your thing, and when you are active, you actually come talk to people. But you can also joke and troll around, which is also fine. But there has to be a balance between it. You can't just be a piece of shit all the time. Right? There needs to be a level. You need to show that you're intelligent enough to understand. Hold on. Me and Will were talking about this. He started asking people if they actually understand the content of the memes they're posting. And most people don't.
Nah, that's the thing. Yeah, I understand very little. You know, very little of the memes that actually get posted are things I can relate to. On Twitter as well, I notice it really irritates me. So,
sorry.
I don't know. Okay, yeah, now continue.
No, I just wanted to mention that Fuckwad in the chat has been agreeing with us and also said Sargon went there and sat in front to intimidate her. She was right. She was right, and he did do that, and we all know he did that. He didn't go there to fucking listen to her speak. He didn't go there. He brought like most of the people over there just to fucking cause a scene. You don't think that that him and every other individual sat there and fucking acted all like go look at the videos. They were there to specifically annoy and to fucking antagonize her. We know that they went there to antagonize her.
I made a really self-defeating segment about that a long time ago, and if I look back on it now with this knowledge, it might actually be cringy enough to cut out. But anyway.
But look how he acted after she told him to fuck himself. He went on crying to everyone in the entire world about how he's being oppressed. And all of a sudden, the victim mentality just started coming from Sargon. Not taking a single shred of responsibility, intent, or understanding of human basic etiquette. And just being all about how he's being oppressed by the big bad woman. How am I supposed to take a person like that seriously? What movement is he leading?
I'm not sure if I agree with that.
No?
No, I mean, he did indeed cry out to the whole world, and that's very annoying. And I remember thinking at that time, because I had a conversation with my mom about this, and she proposed a counterpoint where she basically said the same thing as you're saying right now. And I remember thinking about that and going, yeah, that is partially true. But I don't think I think he meant it as a sort of meme. The whole thing. And I know you're gonna make a point about that. But I think the whole thing about sitting there in the front row was sort of indeed to appease his audience, and it did work at the time, so I understand that move. And what I don't understand is the victim mentality afterwards. That wasn't necessary. But I didn't immediately address that within my mind. That came later.
But hold on. See, at least you thought about it. At least you talked about it. Most people just absorbed it and said, yes, Sargon is right. Anita's shit. Anita's garbage. Yes, fuck Anita. She called him a garbage human and didn't want him around. Is that not even remotely fair?
It's fair, but it's, you know, it's the same thing practically. They're both petty.
But
in
no
this
but then hold on. There needs to be a line drawn to a certain degree on what people believe, because if Sargon is pro free market, pro business, pro other things, then the business that he was whose conference he was attending had all the right in the world to remove him, to move him, to mute him, to do whatever the fuck they wanted, because it's their personal property.
Hold on. I just got a genius gift from the heavens within my mind. His most recent video was actually about it. I'm not sure if you've watched it.
No, I don't watch Sargon. There's a reason I don't watch these people.
Right. But his most recent video was about the Starbucks the Starbucks incident where two where the Starbucks CEO he was accused of being a racist for removing two brown men because they weren't buying any coffees, and they were just sitting there trespassing, which is the whole private. And then Sargon actually made this this argument. No, the business have the right to remove them because they were trespassing.
I know, right? It's like cognitive dissonance doesn't work both ways. So he can cry about being removed all he wants, but at the end of the day, what is he doing? He's being dishonest and disingenuous for the purpose of getting views.
Yeah, I suppose. I'm sorry if you're hearing any of the background.
I don't care. I'm just chilling here, having a coffee, playing some video games, and mostly playing video games. But this is why I don't watch a lot of these people. A lot of the YouTube fucking individuals that I meet on a regular basis say one thing, continuously present arguments about how their morality and their ideologies are so strong, but completely go against everything they believe in when presenting. Sometimes when presenting their content, sometimes when interacting with other people, sometimes being blind to their own understanding. And it's really strange how. None of these people ever mention change and literally changing and trying to be a better person. What happened to that? Is the shitlord mentality just that? Is the liberal fucking snowflake mentality of like, I'm perfect just the way I am, and if I want to fucking cry about this, I will, and then nobody can stop me? Really? Does a 36-year-old man really not understand how his intimidation tactics against a woman might be perceived as inappropriate in a business setting? Is he literally retarded?
Yeah, I would like to I'd like to see a discussion on that in the future, like a stream format discussion. Not like we're having right now, but with the actual people. It would be interesting to actually say that to Sargon's face. I'm not sure if that's even a possibility.
Hey guys, tweet this channel out to Sargon right now so we can say it to his face. So I'm not just saying it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I've also presented this whole point before. There's a reason I don't know what Sticks and Hammer, whatever the fuck, said about why we're losing to the left. But the reason we're losing YouTube to the left is because the left is full of the YouTube is full of leftists. People don't realize how deep it all goes. Anita was right. The more you think you're not affected by it, the more you're affected by it. They don't realize. People forget that Sargon is a leftist. Chris Ray Gunn is a leftist. Lacey Green is a leftist. Remember when Lacey Green was the enemy? And all of a sudden she's not the enemy anymore? Because she started dating Chris Ray Gunn? Now nobody even pays attention to what she says? What happened to attacking Lacey Green over her bullshit ideology and arguments? Why isn't she showing up to live streams like everyone always wanted to defend her perspective and opinion? Just because she made one video saying the right might be right about a few things doesn't mean that she's forgiven for every goddamn thing she said. But you know what? You know what happened? She said that shit. She got hundreds of thousands of new fucking followers because of it, and then everyone started ignoring her and stopped attacking her. Right? Just like I said in my video.
Yeah.
An actor is an actor. All she needs to do is play the part. When she plays the part, then she'll get her views and shills. All of a sudden, just for a quick second, Lacey Green said the right might be right, and every single major right-leaning-ish YouTuber all of a sudden presented her as the savior, as somebody for everyone to follow, as somebody for to take as example from. And then they started, like, literally promoting the shit out of Lacey Green, one of the worst feminist, fucking speakers, YouTubers on the entire platform. Now is being promoted by every single fucking right-wing-ish troll on the internet. How does that make sense? How is nobody still watching what she's doing? How is nobody attacking her? How is nobody still pointing out how her arguments are retarded? Just because she's dating Chris Ray Gunn, another self-proclaimed leftist? Remember? Chris Ray Gunn keeps going, I'm a leftist too. You know how they're leftist? You want me to tell you how they're leftist? I'll tell you how to tell whether someone's a leftist or not. You wanna know the secret?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Deconstructivism. That's how.
What's that?
Again, sorry guys for those of you who have heard this fucking rant before, but let's go through it.
I mean, I understand what the word means,
No.
but...
Okay, so here's how this goes. The liberal left mentality, the liberal ideology, the progressive ideology is a really simple one to spot. It's 100% complaining and deconstructing with zero problem solving. It is because the left, the liberals, whatever the fuck you want to call them, the progressives, have been instilling the notion of critical thinking into pretty much everyone in school since the 60s, and they've been slowly growing this idea within people. Do you know why they've been doing it? It's because Karl Marx told everyone a while ago that you cannot convert the Western world into communism because they don't feel like they're oppressed. So they started a brand new field of oppressive thinking. Now, every single one of us got taught in university critical thinking, right? You remember being taught critical thinking.
I've never been to university. I'm not that highly educated.
Well,
thinking.
It's not okay. It's not necessarily university. It's you could say, actually it is a lot of it is university, but they're teaching it in colleges here and they're teaching it in high school here as well. It's being taught everywhere. It's critical thinking. It's think critically about a situation. It's find the problem with, right? Because it started off really simply with think critically about the problems with politics, and think critically about the problems with business, and think critically about these issues. Now, the original intent of the people who wanted to do it was to just get the idea out there that we might be able to improve systems. This is how it was presented. We might be able to improve systems by pointing out the flaws in them and therefore working on patching those problems. And a lot of people went, yeah, that's a good idea. But you know what the patching has always been? The patching has always been communism, socialism, other progressive ideas. And this is the problem. When you see the skeptic community, it's just a bunch of kids that got a leftist education, sitting around and complaining, deconstructing, and just breaking down every idea. Why did it start with the atheists? Because the atheists sat around and said, religion's a problem, let's deconstruct religion to its fullest extent. It's not just deconstruction, it's also deconstructing and framing the way they want. So you deconstruct the situation and you frame it the way you want to make your argument seem valid, interesting. You know what that is, right? That's just essay writing. So they take their essay writing skills of deconstructing something, framing it in the way that they want to. And remember, my biggest problem with essays in school has always been that there's no solution. There's never a solution. You're always finding all these problems, and eventually, somewhere down the line, maybe someone will let you...
What are you doing?
Huh?
What are you doing right now? You're critically thinking.
I'm not saying I'm not also guilty of it. But also, I come up with solutions. I love solutions. I need solutions. If you watch my videos, I try and include a small solution at the end. My response to the stupid hashtag of creators for change has been creators for truth. Why is nobody using creators for truth? Because nobody fucking listens. Why is it when YouTube's continuously demonetizing everybody, I break down the situation, I have a solution at the end of that video. My solution at the end of that video isn't to bitch and complain. It's to literally refunnel your money back to YouTube so YouTube can't demonetize you because you're literally the advertisers they want to keep. It's a business solution. It's not just me bitching and crying about the fact that YouTube's demonetizing me. I have solutions. This is what makes me slightly different than other people. I also do the exact same thing because I also got my education. I went to college, I went to university, I went to school. They taught me the exact same bullshit, and it's a problem. But the whole point is that you sit there and you deconstruct and you analyze, and you're always unhappy about everything. But there's a reason I'm not watching these other YouTubers anymore, because that's all they do. They sit there and they cry and they complain. Where are the solutions, guys? Where are the solutions? People just constantly outraged over and over and over again about how they're being oppressed. Think about that. The right is constantly sitting around and talking about how they're oppressed without coming up with a single solution to any of these problems. Sure, Sticks and Hammer might say something like, oh, I'll run for government. That's not a solution. Not for him, it isn't. Because then everyone has to run for government. And then what are you running for government under? Look, it's irrelevant. I haven't seen this video, so now I'm just talking shit. How the fuck do I get up there? But that's all these people are gonna do. They sit there and they deconstruct and they say stupid shit for views. And fine if you want to do that, but don't call yourself a progressive. Sorry, don't call yourself a conservative. Don't say that you're a right-wing individual. You're literally a left-wing individual doing trying to pose as a conservative thinker, as a conservative viewer. And that's what you do. You frame things in a way that might appeal to conservatives through your leftist ideology. I'm wondering where... This is why we're going to lose YouTube to the right. Because most... sorry, to the left. Because the majority of the people on there are heavily left-leaning without even knowing that they're left-leaning. God damn it. I started off a lot of my shit that way too. Just complaining. I'm like, what? Why am I complaining? I got tired of complaining. I'm like, where are my solutions? And I started making less videos about problems and more videos about problems, but with solutions. Or deconstructivist videos trying to point out how there's certain videos are purely ideologically driven and actually have no fact behind them. And then you know what happened once I started coming up with solutions? Or like just deframing situations? People stopped watching my channel. YouTube started demonetizing me. Not demonetizing me. YouTube stopped promoting me. My subscriptions got taken away. God damn, this game is glitching. Okay, fuck this. I'm falling. This is why we're going to lose. Because you're not even aware. Not you specifically. But most of these people aren't even aware that they're creating the same progressive ideology, the same progressive speech, the same progressive ideas and push that the left is. It's literally two sides of the same coin. Sargon is sitting around complaining about how badly he's oppressed, while the left is sitting around complaining about how badly they're oppressed. And now everyone is sitting around complaining about how badly they're oppressed, asking for what? More government intervention? More rules? More regulations? Now they're thinking about me. What's a fucking conservative thing that I heard about the other day? A YouTube union. They want to unionize the YouTubers.
I can't deal with your weird hobbies anymore.
Are they retarded? I thought we were anti-union because unions inherently take away the individual bargaining rights of individuals. Now they want to do YouTube fucking unions? For fuck's sakes. Come on, guys. And this is why I've decided that I'm probably just going to start my own Alex Jones version style live streaming thing. No video games. Just me sitting in front of a camera. People can ask me questions. People can come talk to me. I'll just fucking yell into the camera about how people don't realize. Just don't realize it. That at the end of the day, Nina Sarkeesian is actually more right than Sargon.
Here, follow me.
Also,
All right, see that jerk over there?
Fuckwad has been saying shit in the chat, and I've kind of been ignoring him. But he said Sargon went and sat in front of to intimidate her. She was right, yes. And then at some point he said, "Repeat after me." It's okay when I do it. And then he says, YouTubers I watch now make cartoons, gaming people reporting news, and the Beardbarian. I don't know what the Beardbarian's been up to. I had a pretty good rapport with him. I kept asking him to come to Dumpster Fire, but he says he's busy on Friday, so I never followed up a lot of that stuff. He's from Vancouver. He's, I guess, in my country. I can try and...
I remember.
Yeah, I can try and make a
him.
connection with him again, but I don't know what he does. So the only way I'll go out and actually meet him and find him is to just network. Which, again, I feel is kind of shitty. I don't want to use people like that for their notoriety. I'm really tired of this. I really am.
But don't you, like, in a sense, people like Chris Reagan, I think their focus lies more in entertainment than in actually giving any political advice. I think deconstructivism can be useful if you want to create a script for something comedic. It's many jokes, or at least many politically oriented jokes made by even the most well-known of comedians are literally deconstructivism, and they're funny. They're funny to listen to.
Yes.
So, I suppose in a sense, I'm not really a person who gives a shit. I don't really give a shit.
I understand. Most people don't give a shit. That's what makes this so hard. Is that when you're actually trying to progress a proper conservative ideology, it's really, really hard for people to listen to it because they don't care. Most people don't care about living properly, giving a shit about life, caring about how other people feel. They don't give a shit. They just want to be mindlessly entertained. This is why I'm not going to succeed on YouTube. I already know I'm not going to succeed on YouTube. There's no doubt in my mind for a second that I'm not going to succeed here. But the question is, do I literally break all my morals and do the things I don't agree with just to succeed on YouTube, or do I just keep doing what I do and hope some people will actually discover me and learn something from it and realize something from it? Like, I'm probably not the only one who talks about having self-control.
I think it's unfair to say that no one in the current political sphere on YouTube gives a shit. They all give a shit in their own way, and they all try to teach people something in their own way. And I think it should stay that way. I think, as you said, with the unionized YouTubers front or whatever the fuck it's called, I don't give a shit. Because it's a stupid idea and it shouldn't come to fruition ever. People should just, if they want to complain, go complain. If they want to teach something, go teach something. That's, I literally do not give a shit.
Well, there you go. So the question is, do you give a shit or do you not? And you're saying no, you don't. You don't actually give a shit about the political atmosphere and the ideological leanings of the things that you might potentially be preaching to. I do. This is actually fundamentally very important to me because I don't want to be stuck in a society full of people that literally don't give a shit. Because I am not one of those people who doesn't give a shit. I am one of those people who does care, who wants a better tomorrow, a better future, for my children to be able to have a life without being taught homosexuality and a bunch of other garbage in schools just to appease some small percentage of the population. There's a reason I don't know. There might be more to this than, like, I don't know. Chris Ray Gunn talks about the culture war all the time. Sargon talks about the culture war, but what the fuck? But literally none of them don't actually. They don't actually care. That's it. That's it. Maybe you hit it right on the head right there. They don't actually care, and if they don't actually care, why do I listen to them? Is it for the entertainment value? Because I left my TV alone because I didn't want to be mindlessly entertained without thinking about what I'm consuming. Just like Anita Sarkeesian said, think about what you're consuming. It affects you way more than you think. And she was right. There's way too many people who aren't doing anything. You don't care. You're consuming mindless information that's just continuously making you feel like you're oppressed. Why did it go from like, oh, I understand, and business practices and this, to everyone crying about oppression all of a sudden? Oppression was a meme. Remember how we joked about oppression? And okay, there's that process that's I personally joke about, where if you do things ironically for long enough, it becomes real. You know what? Like, I joked about me saying A all the time when I first moved to Canada was actually ironic. It was joking. It wasn't me really saying A, because I don't actually lock on. And then I started saying it unironically. And it's the same thing happened with the oppression thing. Everyone was constantly complaining, not complaining, ironically saying that they're being oppressed to make fun of the SJWs. And then a year in, everyone is actually literally saying that they're oppressed. That's how bad it is. That's how most people they don't realize it. And that's fine. You do you. You don't have to believe in the things you say. You don't have to believe in any kind of message. You can just mindlessly entertain people. That's why I keep telling you, I think you will succeed. You don't care. You can dress up in a silly goddamn hat and sit by a river, pretending to drink the water, reenacting the Lion King. And you will entertain the masses. And you will succeed. I will continuously push a message that I want out there, because fucking almost nobody else is saying it. And I won't. And that's not a problem anymore. That is something I fully understand. God damn.
Well, I think I mean, I might one day. You see, the thing is, I do. What beliefs do I actually hold? Fucking hell. I could list some from my videos. Well, I don't believe in oppression. I never have, and I do try my best to you know, to live my life in a way that that I don't you know, say to other people that I feel oppressed by them. I don't think I ever have said that I feel oppressed by anyone in particular. So that's a belief I do live by. So to say that I literally do not care is bullshit, because if I didn't care, then I wouldn't be then I wouldn't hate Mr. Medicare so much.
Yeah, but you said you hate Mr. Medicare because of his voice, not because of his content. Not because he...
I hate Mr. Medicare. I specifically said that I hate him.
Yeah, but you also said you hate Mr. Medicare because of his voice.
Yes, and because he's a nut.
Yeah, he is. That's what he does. He sits around and attacks other people and calls everyone dumb and retarded. And points out the flaws in others when literally producing nothing of his own. It's fine. This is what he was taught. This is the way he was taught to interact with the world. Through his university, college, whatever the fuck he did. And this is the way he will continue to interact with the world. And this is how he's teaching other people to interact with the world. Oh.
But if since a nihilist does not care about anything and does just want to be mindlessly entertained, I feel like I don't want to be compared to that. So I'm I'm thinking right now. This is useful information.
Well, that's the only thing I can ever do, right? Is make people think. Because what's the alternative? What was my joke?
Because
Throughout the majority of my
I would-
life, my teachers and the police and my parents have always told me to stop being a smartass. My thing to them was always, what is the alternative to being a smartass? What you want? Prefer I would be a dumbass? If I'm not thinking, not trying to figure out what the fuck is happening, why am I doing it? Why bother thinking? Why don't I just mindly absorb and watch South Park all fucking day long?
Yeah, well, no, because I keep producing entertainment mainly, which is why I set up a secret channel, by the way, which I'm never going to share with any of you, because I just don't want that to be connected in any way to what I'm doing right now. And in the meantime, and this is something I've been wanting to do. I also want to make a new series on my current channel, which is just gonna be speaking my mind. It's gonna be unscripted, and I'm just gonna say things about, you know. For example, I'm just gonna pick a random topic. God, Lord knows what, fucking the Anunnaki. Have you ever heard of the Anunnaki?
Of course.
It's in my subjective opinion, it's nonsense. So I'm gonna present that to people, and I don't know a solution, because I don't think there is a solution to the problem, because the problem is that people believe it. And
well,
you can't very well just deprogram people from believing something like a religion. Fanatics will always believe what they believe. So what I can do is just try to make the message less deconstructive and more of a just, hey, this exists. I personally think it's nonsense, but here's what it is. More of an informational video than a breakdown. I'd like to just give people information so that they can make their minds up on it. Like that.
It's not a bad idea. I know some people will fight you on it. Some people will even have some fun trolling you over it. But, you know, whatever. Everyone's got things they believe in, and everyone's got things they don't. And it's better to believe in things.
I don't think they'll have fun trolling me over. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I don't engage with trolls.
Ah.
I don't do it.
Okay.
I mean, unless you've been trolling me for the entirety of this conversation, and I've just not been noticing it.
Well, isn't that the greatest Poe ever?
No. But I mean, I suppose, like, I think this does have something to do with me being young, especially. I still enjoy the whole haha, look at this is funny, or that's quite beautiful, or, you know, this is entertainment. I care about entertainment because I'm young, and I have no real obligations other than doing the work I'm asked to do to make money for myself.
Okay.
That's and I think you are the age where you're almost getting children, and you're thinking about this, and you know, you have much more obligations to yourself, but also to the world, that are starting to creep into your life, coming ever closer. So I think these attitudes of yeah, we need to actually do something and not just say it, actually do what we believe in. Those attitudes are old people are more prone to have those. Would you say you agree?
Requested mission completed.
I partially agree. My
Older
problem
people,
is
by the
that...
way, I don't want to.
Huh?
I said older people. I don't want to.
No, it's okay.
old
Call me old. I don't
necessarily.
care. I'm just saying that the more I interacted within this community, like at first it's whatever, but the more I interact with this community, the more I see that this is a general issue at this point. Because even those people who don't see a lot of this stuff, they might be better off not seeing it. But if it's really as bad as everyone makes it out to be, why is nobody actually trying to fix it? Why is everyone just complaining about it? Why is everyone just fighting over it? Why are these same people like caving in on themselves? And it's more it's
It's a business thing, I think. I wouldn't know. I'm not at that level of fame, but okay. I think I have a good another community that I can use as an example for this, that constantly infights over every single issue that has ever arisen in their community. Is the commentary community. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. It's the more sort of juvenile version of the skeptic thing. The commentary community is practically built on calling each other out. It's the sport of the
yeah. So it's literally
itself.
the blood sport thing. The people inability to get along, the people who just want to argue, and people who just want to create a shit show.
Yeah, but in like response format, response video format. There's loads of people who are guilty of this, and actually all of them. I'm Alex, Pyrocynical, James Marriott, everyone. Every single one of these people constantly does it. And they constantly call each other out for it and say, well, this one is the biggest asshole of them all. No, this one is the biggest asshole of them all. I stopped giving a shit about that community for like the second I discovered political content, I found that much more interesting, because it aside from being because the commentary community, the only arguments that they would usually have is, oh, he did that or he did this, you know, the whole moral this is wrong, but he did because morality or because legality or whatever. I literally, I mean, if it's legally wrong, if it's a pedophile, okay, I care. But all these moral arguments, I just got so sick of that, and so I left, and I found the political stuff more interesting because it was primarily about learning what politics was for me at that point, until I discovered that the exact same shit happens here. The whole moral argument, this guy did that wrong, or this guy is an asshole because he doxed people. I don't care, okay? Just if you have something interesting like information or entertainment, then yeah, I'll swallow it up. But if you're constantly calling each other out with these moralizing arguments, like the whole crowd thing, for example, with the doxing that you talked about earlier, I don't care. I just don't care about that sort of stuff. Why do I have to sit there and listen to 20 different right-wing, alt-right YouTubers go, well, Kraut's a piece of shit because he's actually a Jew and he takes it up the ass, or this or that, and I'm just sat there like, is this politics or is this just is this the whole juvenile playground stuff that I was used to in that old community?
It's literally the exact same shit.
Yeah.
Because, well, I talked about this. Why? What's it called? The white YouTuber. Why did he quit? Do you know why the white YouTuber quit?
Because of this trend.
Yeah, because of this garbage. It's trash.
Yeah.
Because he realized his entire audience is little kids that have no idea what the fuck the point of what he's doing is. He's trying to be entertaining, but he fell into the skeptic community bullshit, and it's literally doing nothing for him.
No. I mean, I missed out on saying that earlier. Like, I said I only care about entertainment, but that's not true. I just mentioned information. I care about information. I like information. I love information. I always have. Ever since I was a kid, I would be reading. When we go to like the bookstore, I wouldn't be reading any novels because I didn't care about stories at the time. I cared about information. I'd read, comic books for the entertainment, and variety. But I'd usually go with a lot of books about dinosaurs because I loved dinosaurs at the time and I wanted to learn, the most recent things that those books were really old. I discovered that later, but the most recent discoveries in where the bones were found and what they ate and what they looked like, I found that shit so interesting. And the same thing, it was all the same when I went into the skeptic community. I was interested in hearing all these different ideas and I didn't really understand politics at the time, so I thought it'd be a good investment. I started by going to Chris Reagan because that was sort of interesting because it was like the whole haha funny, and that sort of eased me into the idea of watching Sargon of Akkad and all these other people who had more long-form content with more informational stuff in there, and I just started to discover things I'd never known about feminism, which I previously was an advocate for. I used to be a hardcore leftist until I found that all that information these people were presenting it to me in such a way that I thought, yeah, that is bullshit, and it still is to me. So that was all interesting to learn about until I learned everything there was to learn, and it was at that. Ironically, it was right at that moment that everything started going downhill for this community, and it just became shit. It became uninteresting to me.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my ethos or something.
Okay, hold on. Fuckwad is saying in the chat, Whitey didn't fall in. He incessantly emailed skeptic YouTubers for a collab. He jumped in. You're right, but I don't think he knew what he was... okay, I'm sorry. Let's start this off right. I'm wrong. Yes. He probably jumped in full speed ahead. And he probably didn't know what he was getting himself into when he did it. He didn't realize what these communities are like, per se. And I think he was disenfranchised fairly quickly about the kinds of going-ons that happened here. Or happened there, or whatever. This is why my last interactions with him have always been like, why do we care about any of this? Why are we even doing this? He increasingly just didn't seem to give a shit about any of it at all. Even admitting his or modding his server at the end of it, there was like nobody in there, and he didn't care. Yeah, from a lot of what he wanted to do was also the same thing. He just wanted to hang out with people and talk shit. And he wasn't given that opportunity because everyone was just attacking each other all the time.
So, this might also, by the way, this might be the reason that I recently I stopped I lost interest in writing my script or in finishing it because I was going through that transition period of, oh, this is boring, why do I even try? And I just started playing Overwatch, and I had a great time. I just started playing Overwatch for like a month straight, and I didn't do anything.
Yeah. That's...
And now I'm making a movie review, actually a review of a series, because that's more interesting to me. It's literally more interesting than politics at this point.
Well, what are you gonna do about politics? What more could you say about politics that hasn't already been said? That doesn't require you to fight other people to gain attention. People keep asking me, why don't you contact this YouTuber, this YouTuber, this YouTuber? I'm like, why? Why am I even contacting these people at this point? I don't think I'm interested in what they have to say for the most part. I don't think I'm interested in what they're doing for the most part.
Okay, so thing is, I will still make those weekend whack videos as like a and they will be politically charged in some areas where they, you know how I'm not sure if you're familiar with my weekend whack series. Are you?
Nope.
Well, basically what I do is I just take some articles or some stupid stories and I read them to my audience and I give my opinion, and it's the deconstructivism that you're talking of, but that you speak of, but yeah, I like doing it. It does give me a sort of gratification.
Sure.
I never if I did actually end up speaking of people like public figures in particular, such as Francesca Ramsey, but I don't think I'm gonna do that again. I think I'm just gonna focus on the story rather than the person that it's about from now on. From now on, yeah. Bloody hell, English.
Okay.
Because why would I mean, the Francesca Ramsey video, that was where where she also claimed that they did the same to her, her you know, at VidCon, that the skeptics did the same thing to her as they did to Anita, and I said, yeah, they did, because that's funny. That was my defense for it. I thought it was funny. So at the time, at least, I thought it was hilarious. I don't know why. It's just sometimes you begin to hate the ideas of a person so much, or the hypocrisy that they show, that you're just like, yeah, you kind of deserve that. But it's not helpful. I agree. It's probably not helpful at all. In fact, it's not helpful at all.
Well, what could we possibly do at this point?
Nothing. I think I'm just gonna have fun with YouTube. That's it. I'm just gonna have a bunch of fun.
Well, I guess that's all you can do. I'm just doing my thing. I'm playing video games, and people want to come talk to me. They can come talk to me. That's what's gonna have to happen.
I think you said you wanted to focus a lot on your message, but I think even you like to have fun. Like this whole gaming stream thing is your way of just entertaining yourself, I suppose, because that's literally what games are, entertainment.
Well, I'm entertaining myself. I'm conversing with people. I'm spreading my message. I have my podcast, and I'm gonna probably start another channel somewhere. But we'll see.
Yeah, but you're also playing a video game. I don't think there's any other purpose to a video game than, you know, than entertaining yourself and maybe some other people that are watching it.
Yeah, but how many people are actually entertained? I don't know. Russell's here, or sorry, he I guess he's entertained by my random rantings. My miss or unhappiness with the entire politosphere of YouTube. Well, my explanations for why we're actually gonna just get screwed over and lose the YouTube platform. But again, like people would much rather that I make funny noises at the camera while playing Nier Automata, like getting shocked every time I see her fucking thong. Like thong. Or just if I just play the entire game with her bottomless and just her running around in a thong the entire time. That could also work for a lot of people. What am I doing? But like, there's different values of entertainment, and I really need to know whether, or really would like to know whether I'm, or at least which part of this.
I mean, what I do not like about the conservative message is that I mean, I watched Black Pigeon Speaks for a while. I think he's a great dude. He has some great videos, and most of his opinions are like just aligned with mine. But what I did not like was one of his videos which specified a more conservative approach to porn, and he just wants to. From the title alone, it seems he wants to eradicate it. He wants to eradicate the whole of it.
Well, is it from the title?
He calls
or...
it the cancer on society. I don't know if that's true. I
Well, how much porn do you watch a day?
Well, a day. I don't watch it a day. I think I fap a lot without porn.
Just for fun? Just on your own?
Yeah. With whom else would I be doing it?
I don't know. You tell me.
Gay, mate. Yeah, on my own. I think once or twice, maybe 3 times a week. And sometimes I look at it just to make fun of it, because some of the porn I see online is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, send me the links to those. We're still doing our porn reviews.
You sure you want to have that on stream, mate?
What? The me saying that?
No, the porn itself.
No, I record it and then we upload it to BitChute. So if you want to go watch us sit around and laugh,
you have a porn review series on BitChute.
Yeah, can't do it on YouTube.
Oh my god, I need to watch that. I never. Oh, it's gonna be entertaining for me. I never knew that. I have some fucking atrocious porn. Do you want it all or?
Sure. Look, it's me and a bunch of people sitting around getting drunk and laughing at porn. I don't care what it is.
See, you like to relieve yourself and forget your message and entertain yourself for a bit.
Yes. But again, different things, different folks with different strokes, right?
Is this the music box she was looking
Yeah.
for? Man,
Yeah.
Look, a corpse.
you think the box belonged to her? Poor
No,
girl
but
died
because
a long
it's,
time ago
to
by
me
the
it
looks
sounds
of
so
Let's bring
bleak
this
to
back to her
focus
friend.
only on carrying out some sort of mission. I don't want to do that. I want to kind of, I want to balance it. I mean, of course I want my children, if I ever have them, to be raised in a certain way, and preferably indeed not to be taught the concept of gayness. That's one of the things.
Okay.
I don't know why, but that just it, it doesn't. It's, I mean, they can get it taught when they're ready for it, but you know, the whole obsession with teaching children what it is at a young age, that's weird to me.
What, are you talking about teaching them
I mean,
homosexuality,
it's inevitable that
transgenderism, or just sexuality as a whole?
a little sexuality thing that should stay out of a child's mind for as long as they are a child, and I think that varies per child. I think some will be ready. You know, of course, in a sex pussy world, it's almost impossible to protect your children
Hold on,
from
hold
this
on.
message.
Did you watch the Philip Zimbardo podcast me and Siggy did? We put 2 hours of hardcore information, like a lot of information, a lot of disturbing facts in there from the experiments that he did. Did you know 6-year-olds watch up to 3 hours of porn a week? 6-year-olds. Because no one's governing it. No one's regulating it.
What are they watching it for?
I don't know what they're watching it for.
They can't
Probably.
they can't masturbate
Why not?
because they can't. Because their scrotums haven't been filled with.
No,
with
no,
juice yet.
no. That's wrong. They can still feel sexual stimulation. We did
Yeah.
we did
But they
a
can't get hard. I think.
book. It doesn't matter. We did a book club earlier on where a doctor suggested scaring a child, like trying to see if he can create almost a Pavlovian reaction to rats, to make them afraid of rats or bunnies or puppies or whatever. And then he succeeded very well, actually. Just like the picture of a rat would make the child cry, and it was like infants.
Fair enough.
And later on, his whole plan was to decide to deprogram the child from his fear of cats and mice and rats or whatever the fuck he was doing by sexually stimulating them. Into finding into like I don't know, finding pleasure in them and therefore not being afraid of them anymore.
A Goliath? This was a trap. I knew it.
So obviously even doctors know that children experience sexual stimuli at a relatively young age.
I realize the odds of you believing me are strikingly low.
Yeah.
But I hope you will nonetheless.
We'll sort it out
Yeah.
later. Let's go.
So more regulation on porn would be a good thing. I'd personally, I would keep them away from the computer until they're old enough, and I'll deem that I'll see where I put the, you know, where I put the border for that. What do you call that? When I let them use the computer, I'll see for how long I won't let them use the computer when I'm there, because I'm not there yet. I'm freaking 20 years old.
Well,
I'm not even thinking about children.
Isn't it? No, fine. You don't have to start thinking about them just yet. But think about how much access children have to the internet these days. Think about how many porn accounts there are on Instagram, on Twitter, on every single goddamn platform you know of. You know there's a lot of porn on YouTube. You know there's a lot of people that cater to kids and porn on YouTube.
That's
like
that's
every-
what I said.
Yeah.
Do you know how long my parents?
How long?
Leaving the operational
They
area.
kept me away from the computer until I was 12. By that time, I'd learned it. That was in middle school, I think. When I was when I just turned 12, that's when I learned about the sexual lessons that you get on middle school. That's the point. I was taught the concept of fucking you know, all the things that surround it. I was 12 years old. Obviously, I was taught it in a very kid-friendly way. What was strange, though, and I do remember this, is that it didn't even come from the teachers, but we all found it disgusting for some reason. I don't know where that came from. We found the idea of a penis going in a vagina disgusting, and that was something that everyone had. Everyone that was me.
Okay.
Kind of like how toddlers say "ew" when their parents kiss, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's or when other people kiss, because a kiss is disgusting if it's not your mom kissing you. That was a strange thing. I don't know where that came from. I'm trying to think really hard, but because it must have had a reason to exist.
Hold on, Fuckwad's
But I
asking,
don't
did I lose the game by taking the wrong turn? And the answer is yes. I think I did lose the game by taking the wrong turn. So I'm gonna try that again, and hopefully it won't lose the game. Sorry. Look, sexuality in children should probably be kept very far away from each other. I do like what you have to say about it. You said, I am going to keep my kids away from this shit as much as possible.
Yeah.
And that's probably the best thing. That's the personal responsibility aspect of it, which I completely agree with.
Do you know why I hate Gen X?
Why?
The newest generation of people? Because their parents give them phones at the age of 3 years old.
Yeah.
Phones, tablets, laptops, computers, I don't know, gaming devices that can access the internet. If they couldn't access the internet, I'd be fine with it, as long as they aren't playing games that are meant for that are over their age limit. You know, there's a reason these PEGI things exist.
Well, who's actually keeping track of the games?
Yeah.
See,
that's. You mean the rating, the age rating? Who's keeping
sure
track of
age rating? What does that mean? There's a kid in here. He's Siggy's cousin. He's 10 years old, and his mom lets him play all the M-rated games. I know for a fact he's playing M-rated games that literally have pornographic content in them. Like he's like, what's his favorite game? Watch Dogs. I'm like, you do, like, in Watch Dogs, you walk around the prostitution ring with a bunch of naked women standing around. Like, no one's keeping track of it.
I wouldn't allow that.
What?
I wouldn't allow that.
But again, you literally have to check the full age rating of, like, everything you do. All the time, constantly.
Yes.
No, and it's good. If you're going to take care of your kids to that degree where you're actually going to pay attention to what the hell they do, that's fantastic. But most people aren't willing to do that. Most people don't care.
What I want my kids to be focused on? I want them to focus on their imagination.
Hold on. Fuckwad is saying, wrong generation, buddy. Gen X is my generation, the 38+ generation.
Oh right, Generation Z.
Yeah, you mean Generation Z.
Whatever. I'm not really. I don't know all these terminologies. Anyway, I myself was a very I see myself as a very creative person, and I see that as a direct result of me in my younger years being absolutely like there was a point that I was introduced to video games for a while, but I wasn't allowed to play them that much, and so I lost interest at a certain point. But I mostly played outside in my young years, and I played with other children, and we play like really primitive types of imaginary scenarios. We'd almost make up movies in our heads. Like it would start at the age of 4 with like police catches the criminal kind of stuff on the on the school playground. You know, the really basic stuff. Like it's basically tag, but with familiar roles assigned. Like the one person would be the agent, and the others would be the criminals running away from them, from that person, until they were tagged, and they would be locked up in prison. And I remember we always had a designated spot somewhere to act as a prison, and then sometimes someone would escape. Sometimes we'd bullshit our way out of the rules of the game, and we'd be angry with each other. But these games, these really primitive sorts of things like tag with roles, were only the beginning. Like there was a point where we make up entire stories based on children films we'd seen, and we'd play them out in our head. Basically, like acting them out as well, physically. And all while playing outside. I think that's a really healthy thing for a child to do. If you introduce a child to indeed mindless entertainment and the endless possibilities at a very young age, they lose their imaginative qualities.
Okay.
This is why so many people fail at making, getting off their ass and making basic of art, right? The reason I didn't fully get into art in school is because they had computers standing around. And we just procrastinate and listen to music. This was in middle school, by the way, so this was when my childhood was actually behind me. Was 15 at the time. I'd not be interested in any of the creative stuff and creating things with my own mind because I was constantly consuming things.
After all, the only way to understand someone is
So
to
to
get
do that to a child, in my eyes, is almost a crime. Which, when I look at all these young children, a
What's that
good
noise?
example. My
Judy,
neighbors,
this is an emergency
they have 2
transmission
young
from the bunker.
boys,
We're reading a
and
Goliath
they
class
get
enemy
to
inside the
watch
city ruins. And it
Netflix
looks like there
on
are a
the
ton of
iPad
other
all
machines
day,
there with it. All
whenever
your
they
high
want.
units should proceed and engage
Now
immediately.
there are
A
some
Goliath?
limitations
This
and
was a trap.
restrictions, but
I
it's
knew it.
practically
I
non-existent.
promise you,
And
we
there's
were not
6,
aware of this
and one
information.
of them is
I
5, I
realize the
think.
odds
I'm
of you believing
not
me are
sure.
strikingly low.
But way
I
too
hope you
young
will,
to
nonetheless.
be
We'll
wasting
sort it
their
out later.
time sitting
Let's go.
inside. It's both unhealthy and it doesn't help with their development. Problem solving, by the way, is also a thing you learn when you're playing outside. Specifically, how to, for example, save yourself in the situation that you are
Command is deploying new flight units for us. They
that
just sent
you've
the coordinates, so let's
climbed
get
into
going.
a tree, or say for example, and you can't get out. If you're alone there, and you have only a brother with you, who can't help you, you're gonna have to solve that problem for yourself. You're gonna have to discover for yourself that it's not really the height you're afraid of, it's the fall. So you're gonna have to teach yourself how to climb down. That's basically it, without slipping, something like that. You're gonna have to overcome your own fears and solve the problem.
Okay.
So yeah, that's I value play. I value play, imagination, and a good dose of healthiness, basically.
I wonder why kids don't do that anymore. Like, this is happening a lot with Siggy's cousins, I guess. When we're hanging out at family events and all the kids are sitting playing Minecraft together on their phones and tablets. And the parents are constantly complaining about the kids not playing.
The flight units should be on the roof of that building up ahead. It'd
But
be dangerous,
there's
but
not
we're
much the
going
kids can
anywhere
do
unless we pass through
in the
that
way of
Goliath's
playing
legs.
outside. Like, there's
We
no
should be
parks
careful.
anymore. Is there? Is there parks anymore?
There's enough for us in my country to...
Yeah, in your country.
Oh, hold on. You're telling me there's no nature in Canada?
Oh, there's lots of nature in Canada, but when you live in a concrete city with nothing to do but suburbs everywhere, then it's kind of difficult. Or at least I think it would be difficult.
Here's the thing. This made me kind of a bit of a scoundrel, to be honest. But if indeed I would go outside and choose not to go to the forest, I'd stay in my... I'm not sure how that is in a concrete jungle, by the way, like a big city, but I've always lived in small villages where the highest buildings you would see were like East Block flats, like the things that you'd see in one of those dystopian Russian cities, those big blocky flats. What we do is we would just climb on everything, absolutely everything. Cars, buildings. There would be, you know, local storage places for materials they use to when they replace some of the underground pipes, the piping system. All those places we climb onto or into, and sometimes we do shit that is practically illegal, but we're kids.
Yeah.
And I think that's also part of play. I think I value that too, the scoundrelness. There's a point where you're gonna have to learn that sort of stuff is not okay to do for the rest of your life. But if you're a child, I think you're free to do such things. The worst thing I ever did as a child was pretend that somebody's car was a dragon and basically wreck it with like wooden sticks that we had found somewhere, and we'd just stand on top of it and jump on it and smash the windows and stuff. That was the worst thing I ever did. And I didn't even get punished for it. What I did get punished for was much more minor, actually. We threw a really small stone through a window, and it would barely create a hole, but someone apparently found out who did it. I don't know how they found that out, because we've literally been gone. It was like 3 days later that some lady came to our door and she apparently knew somehow who we were. But it was like one of those community buildings that was gonna destroy. It was gonna be wrecked by to make place for another one of those storage places for building materials. And we got community, but guess what?
What?
They never followed up on those charges. They never actually pulled us out of our homes to do the things that we were supposed to do. We were supposed to, we got like, I think it was 15 hours of community service, and what we were supposed to do was just clean up some local grass fields, just you know, with those little grabby things that we used to, you know, we'd be doing supposed to do that, but they never actually called us out for it. So they never came to our home and asked us to actually do it. So yeah, that was useless. That was a waste of time for the police, at least. I didn't feel much for it. But yeah, I value such experiences. I think a child should have those, and being robbed behind a computer that you got for your second year birthday because granddaddy loves you so much. It makes you docile. It makes you uncreative, unimaginative, and just an overall dull human being. I mean, look at me. I'm stuck behind a computer and I'm having this dull conversation.
Is it a dull conversation?
From my side, I mean, I'm joking about myself mainly. Yeah. I think I'm being dull sometimes when I talk.
Or maybe honest?
sound really
Maybe you're not
monotone.
100% entertaining and you're not on. You're not acting like a clown, so you feel awkward. That's also weird because people have moods. People have personality. People have general shit. I don't know why people need to be on all the time, but I guess they do.
This is really. This translates back into my recent decision to have some acting lessons, and I really want to do this overly dramatic thing. And my teacher keeps telling me it's the small things that matter. You gotta be able to be regular too. Like just if you're supposed to play, for example, someone who's bored with their day job, you're supposed to be able to do that. You don't always need these larger than life roles to shine. It's the little things where really good actors shine. Like
You're not much for plans, are you, 2B?
Like just having a casual conversation at the table, and if you can actually be casual, and your body language is casual, and everything is casual, just casual human interaction, then you're a really good actor. That's because people think as soon as they go, as the camera turns on, they have to put on this persona to be really entertaining, and that really conflicts with them. With the role, if that really conflicts with the role that you are given, you're not going to be a good actor. You're going to be remembered as the either the overly active actor or the overly dramatic actor. Or
yeah, but look at Nicolas Cage.
Was supposed to... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I find that really fun, and sometimes I do get it. Like recently, and I have a lot of fun with those as well, but with the general stuff as well. Recently I got a role where I had to act like I was an alien and I'd never seen a human female before. And I was just like, okay, I hadn't pre-planned anything, but I just started like touching the hair of my co-actor and really just like looking at it in awe. It was quite a well received performance. Everybody liked it, so I felt good.
Hold on. Let's catch up with the chat real quick. He, after the generation thing, he said, my generation didn't have tablets until we were 20 or older. They didn't exist. That's how we grew up before the internet, when you were talking about the basically living in fantasy world with children. Absolutely. I remember a large portion of that too. Then it goes on to say that they all live in a sheltered world of playdates and scheduled activities. And that's also a problem where people feel like they need to schedule their kids and overprotect them about from everything. And yet people don't protect their kids from the most basic things like television and literally the tablets that are sitting in front of them. And he also says that I've tried live streaming, but I don't have an on mode.
Then, I'm not sure if this has ever happened if I had a conversation with you, but sometimes my little sister comes in to my computer room or game room, and I just tell her I would tell her politely to go away because she's not allowed to be here. Not because my parents necessarily don't want this, but because I don't want it. My parents don't want it either. They don't like it either. But I especially don't like it because one, it bothers me, and it distracts me of the thing I was doing or saying or, you know, whatever. And two, it will bother her in the long. And I don't think she needs to see what I'm watching on YouTube. I don't think she needs to see these games that I'm playing, because some of the times I do play quite violent games when she comes in, and I can't stop playing. I can put them on. I can put on hold like the pause menu, and I always do that really quickly.
Marking approximate location on
Just go play with your friends, or go play downstairs, or do something by yourself. She also always wants people to join her in whatever she's doing, and I don't think that's healthy. I mean, of course she should play with her friends more, but if there's no one around that wants to do anything together, then she should learn to entertain herself. That's just a part of existing. You should be able to do that at a certain age. And she's 8 now, so I think begging for someone to come along with her is just annoying.
I understand that you find it annoying, but I will point out something that's just what it's like to have younger siblings. My brother was like that a lot to me. Just always wanted to be around, always wanted to play, always wanted to hang out, and I never really wanted him around. And I kind of regret that a little bit now, because I'm not going to get that opportunity again.
You know, with me it's more so that she'll do this when I have actually given her attention for a while. But seeing as I'm older, and I've got probably a potentially lower attention span than her, and also things to do, I will go and do those things before she's satisfied with because I don't know if this is a thing that children have, but they always want things to last very long. They want like if they're I'll play werewolf with her, where she's the young werewolf, and we'll do it on the trampoline, and I'll pretend to hunt for her and then feed her something, and she loves that shit because it's imaginative and all that. And then over days we'll return back to human form and all that, and she understands all these things. It's fun to do, but then I'll lose interest at a certain point, or I'll have something to do, or there's someone at the door for me, because I also have friends, incidentally. I know, right? Strange.
Not online friends. How does that work? Do they like have to drive over to you?
Yeah, I actually do tell them. I have only one friend that I actually hang out with, because I am of the opinion that it's of course good to have a little bit of a larger friend group, but I also think that if someone is an objectively better friend than someone else, I think it's only fair to spend more time with that person than with anybody else.
I understand.
So, I usually call that friend over in the weekend.
So you're like a best friend.
Fill my time when he's driving to me. I'll be doing something with my little sister, and then when he's there, I'll have stuff to do and him to greet and all that. And we usually go into the forest for a walk, a walk and a talk. You know, catching up with each other, asking each other about each other's weeks, showing new memes to one another, because that's apparently the thing that's, yeah, that's become something that people do, and I just kind of accept it. Um, and she'll not be satisfied yet because she hasn't literally played for hours on end, and that she wants someone she can play with for hours on end. And the problem is that what you mentioned with the whole scheduled play dates thing, that's a thing that my parents tend to do.
What is this?
At least for her, I can't remember. I think it was the same
Why
for
is there
me,
such
like
a
the whole
huge
play
cavern
dates thing.
beneath
But
the
I also
city?
used to play outside with other kids in the neighborhood that I didn't. But with my little sister, it's usually the whole you have a limited amount of time to do this with said friend. And I think she's really unsatisfied at the end because she can't let go of the experience yet. So she constantly has to be um she constantly has to have a playmate. So she'll then chase me throughout the house when I'm trying to greet my friend. And when I this is also clearly showing in continuing, and I give her a good reason, she'll give up on wanting to play with me, and instead she'll focus on my friends.
Yeah, that'll happen too.
uh, and I don't blame her for it. I understand. I understand because I've been there myself.
Were
And
you a
I
younger
also
sibling?
never had enough.
Were you a younger sibling?
No, but like this is the sister I'm talking about. This is my half sister. She was born in 2010, which means she's a lot younger than me.
Right.
And she's from another father. But my father got 3 children actually. So I was the eldest, but I would still I always felt like my younger brother was always kind of in charge when it came to play, because he had something about him that I also couldn't stand it when he argued with me, because he would always win. It was really irritating. As the eldest, I always kind of felt undermined by him, and that could be really irritating at times. And so I would be. We all would, by the way, but I would mainly be the one to when others say, okay, we're stopping this play, and we would be halfway through, and we and I just want to continue and stuff, but we all did, by the way. We all complained to each other about differences in vision. That became a problem at a certain point. I remember that when we became 10 years old, actually I think it was around 10 years old, we became more critical of each other's visions on on the world we'd created in front of ourselves. Like the one person would want some really um, uh, I need no man kind of female character implemented in our imaginative play, and the other one would disagree with that, and that would just be like a difference in vision that would completely shut down what we were about to do. Someone would just be like, okay, you want that, but I want this. Well, I'm not playing with you. That kind of thing.
That's kind of shitty.
It's interesting. All experiences that help me grow as a person, and that I want to give to my children as well.
Well, I guess that's definitely important. And I don't know. It's been a really long time since I had to play with a younger sibling per se.
Yeah, well, no shit. You're growing up.
Yeah, but I remember it fondly. It was a lot of fun.
This is why I loved vacations before I became a teen. It's because they'd help with the amount of time I had to spend. We would have later bedtimes because it was vacation, and we'd have no school to go back to every day, and we'd be in another country where it's generally more nature is generally more beautiful to play in. You could swim. That was an added addition that you know made some room for more imaginative scenarios, like pretending to be a dolphin or a fish or whatever, or maybe even a mermaid. When I became a teen, I wouldn't like them because I was introduced to the concept of entertaining myself, entirely without any human contact, like the tablet, or I don't know, yeah, YouTube. I'd watch YouTube videos instead. I'd just be annoyed when my parents asked me to do anything. They'd be annoyed with me, and there came a certain point where it got so tense, like a family kind of tense, that my mother stopped wanting to pay for these vacations and do them with us. Especially my younger brother, he had a really hard time accepting that he had to leave his his house, and where, because all his stuff was there, all his friends were there, and he didn't want to be with his family. He was the real rebellious type in that stage of his life. He isn't anymore. He's grown up into quite a family. And then he's recently started working, and I can appreciate that. But he made it so hard on my mom that one vacation she literally started to cry when we were having an ice cream somewhere. And I remember that being quite an emotional moment. It was the time that Mom almost gave up on having vacations at all. Right before it started turning around the other way, and things were good again. Yeah, that was also an interesting period of my life. Teenage drama and family drama and everything changing. Vacations weren't as magical anymore. How was
Just-
that for you? Just out of interest.
I don't know. I'm finding out a lot of things about you, so that's good.
Don't use them against me.
No. Don't worry. I won't use it against you. Just collecting all the knowledge of who your family is, where they live, where they go on vacation.
Well, I didn't say where they go. The vacation when my mom started to cry, I think was Belgium actually. Yeah.
I
It
do
was
like
somewhere
waffles.
in the,
I do like waffles.
We didn't have waffles.
How'd you go to
Uh,
Belgium and
it-
not have Belgian waffles?
I think it's because of the area we were in. We were in a place that with mainly rocky hills and stuff and huge caverns.
The
That
ground
was
is
the main
caved in.
attraction
There must have been a hollow
in that
down there
area.
this whole time.
Just enormously long, enormously deep caverns with like real cool stuff in it, like waterfalls and everything. And you could go in there with a guide. Otherwise, you'd literally get lost. That was the fun aspect of vacation. That brought me quite a bit of joy. Although my brother would never join us in those escapades, he would always stay at the camping where the Wi-Fi was, so he could stare at his phone for a bit.
That's a thing now, isn't it? Just Wi-Fi everywhere.
Yeah.
Am I stuck down here?
I mean, I'm going on vacation in because I'm
This
literally
hallway
sick
looks
of
pretty old.
working. I've been working a lot and it's tiring me. So I'm going to Greece for food to be specific, and I'm going to sit there in a resort, but I'm going to try to really motivate myself to take some bus tours to the other side of the island, the more rocky side of the island, and not stay in the hotel too much because there's Wi-Fi there and it's an all-inclusive hotel, so you could literally sit there all week. All 8 days of my all-inclusive vacation could be spent there and just doing nothing, and I don't want that to happen. I'm going to visit, I'm going to read few places that I've been with my father there. Corfu is probably one of the most gorgeous places I've ever been in my life. It's got these mysterious little crevices between cliffs that lead to little beaches with like enormous rocks sticking out of the water that you can climb onto and jump off of. And there's literally bars built into cliffs where you can drink something and swim at the same time. It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful
Look at all
place.
these dead machines.
So
Seems
I'm
like
going to
they've been here for a
revisit some
long
of those
time.
places. Hopefully I can find them back because the Greek alphabet makes finding city
is this
name
place?
quite difficult.
I don't know. There's nothing like it in the database.
But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Because I love traveling.
Okay, well,
And you don't, by the way.
Me?
Do you?
no.
Dead?
No,
Maybe.
I'm not a big fan
Look.
of traveling. It involves...
Not even for the...
Destroyed alien motherships.
Like, if you did it just for the destination itself,
Welcome.
you do it.
I want to do a whole
To the
live stream
graveyard of our
about,
creators.
or at least a whole podcast about traveling and why I don't care. And it's generally because I don't care.
It's a shame, though. There's so many beautiful places.
To be.
For what?
Look out!
My name is Adam.
For what?
The
For what?
aliens you seek
For-
are no longer here.
I mean,
They
you
were wiped
could
out centuries ago by us.
relax and
the
swim
machines.
and-
Wiped
Oh, I can't hear you. You're
And
mumbling
who
off somewhere.
knows, Perhaps we'll wipe out the androids next.
You could swim
Machines
and,
are
and
weapons
relax
capable of evolution. We can
lay in
grow.
the sun for a
We
bit.
can become.
Yeah, but I don't have to go anywhere to
Eventually,
sit in the sun for a
intelligence
bit.
within our network began to surpass that of our creators.
Do I?
You'd probably be
But
surprised at how
Canada isn't
quickly we
really
have
new.
Sure it is. We have plenty of warm, relatively warm
There's no
destinations.
need to fret about that.
When swimming
They were simple, infantile,
without literally
almost
freezing.
like.
I can't hear you.
planets, you'd say. They held
Can
no
you
value
swim
to
in
us,
the sea
but the humans
without
on the moon,
freezing to death?
Yes, we have summers.
I'd go to Canada for the forests.
Sure, we have
I'd
amazing
go
forests too.
Now they are interesting.
Why them?
But I wouldn't
Because
go
they
there for the
are
sea.
an enigma. They killed uncountable numbers of their own kind.
I
And
would
yet
think
loved in
to
equal
go
measure.
more of a
It's
Caribbean.
fascinating, don't you think?
That's what I want.
What
Okay,
could
so you want to go to
possibly
the
drive
Caribbean.
Such behavior? We
I
have
don't know.
dedicated ourselves to unraveling this
My
riddle
dad
of
used to
humanity.
live on,
And now we will allow you
Curacao.
to assist us. You were made in their image, after all.
It's
Assist you
one of
with
those
what?
Caribbean
It's simple.
islands.
We need you to locate the humans on the moon and bring
I
them
think
to
it's
us.
actually
We
yeah,
will then
yeah. It's
dissect and
technically
analyze them
speaking, it's part
in
of
order
it,
to
the
drag their.
Netherlands. Because they want to belong to us, and they
It's
were
fun.
once a colony of it. So we literally.
Into the light. Surely you see the attraction in this.
We're imperialists.
We'd never do
Are
that.
you? Oh
Can
no.
you believe this to be? This is bonkers.
We have an empire.
I suppose this
Even though it's
concludes
just one island.
negotiations. The only
Suriname
remaining
actually
option
also,
is to destroy
although
you,
they
the
are
same way we
independent now, but
destroyed these
technically
pathetic little
speaking,
aliens.
they were a Dutch colony, and they still are. They have Dutch tendencies. Many Surinamian people also tend to travel here for the weed mostly.
You guys have lots of weed?
We have lots of weed, yes.
You want to send me some seeds?
Oh, you mean me as a we as a family?
No, we as in your
Dutch
country.
The
Yeah, I
aliens were already
can't
dead.
send you seeds,
Yeah.
but I can send you
We better get back to the bunker.
the stuff itself.
No, I want seeds. I can get the stuff.
Seeds. You want seeds? What do you want seeds?
So I can
Stuff.
grow my own.
Can't you get the seed?
I want to grow my own.
Okay. Pardon me. I don't think they. Actually, I might. I'm gonna try and look for that.
Back this
I'm
way
gonna
again?
try and do it.
I want to know how much they
I'm
cost in
gonna
your
try and
country,
stop
because they're kind of
complaining.
expensive here.
Yeah.
You mean the seeds?
Yeah.
2B,
I'm
this
not
is
sure
Operator
because I
60.
don't know if
We
they
now have
they
an operational
literally sell
transporter in the
seeds.
city room.
They
We're attempting
where
to
I
deploy
can
them at other points
buy
as well.
weed itself, but
About
I'm
time
not
we had
sure if they
access to
sell
those.
seeds
Care
anywhere.
to fill me in?
I'll check though.
Transporters?
Okay.
I'll check.
They let you transfer your consciousness to a temporary body back in the bunker.
wonder if I
I
can
heard some
just
tech guys talking about it a while ago,
Let's
but
do
I didn't know they
this.
finally got it working.
But if you can get the stuff, then why can't you
Hey,
get the seeds?
how's it hang?
in your
I
own
can't. I
country?
told you they're
Your
expensive.
commander told me to build a new. Oh, and I got the
Oh,
stupid
okay.
transporter up and running.
Seeds.
Thank you?
I've known the commander for. Next time you see.
Fucking hell. I'm a,
So this is a
I'm a
transporter
retarded
now,
idiot.
huh?
I just
Still, transporters are pretty handy. They're
Without
way
weed.
faster than flight units when it comes to traveling between Earth and the bunker.
Oh,
Flight
got
units
that.
also leave us open to
Should
attack,
type
and
it
they're
in,
expensive to operate
Dutch,
too.
just to be sure. That.
Oh, thank God. They just opened up my ability to be able to fucking fast travel. Oh, God. I think this game just started, guys.
Oh, you can! Holy crap! Okay, I can get 5 seats for 19. Whoa, that's pretty expensive, yeah. I can get 5 seats for 1995. 10 seats for 34.95. That's fucking expensive, dude.
No, 10 seats here is
Yes, it is.
$86.
Oh, I'm not complaining.
That's
I can
that's
get
why I was
literally
saying
all
that they're expensive here, because literally I've seen prices where for 10 seats it's like $120.
I can literally get all sorts of wheat seeds. Like I can get them from the Akagun type, the Amnesia Haze type. Oh my god, the Blueberry Auto. They have all sorts of weed.
Yeah, you want to give me a
get
gift?
seeds from.
Are they auto-feminized, auto-blooming?
What? Feminized blooming?
Yep.
What do you
Feminized and
mean?
blooming means auto-blooming, and auto-feminized means that they only sell you female seeds because the females are the ones to produce the bud. So there's no males.
Yeah, some of them say auto, but they don't say anything about the gender of them.
No. Well, I don't know. If you want to send me some gifts.
Amnesia Haze has a very hot EHC level. It means it's really strong.
That's good.
But I can't buy any of it right now because I'm literally broke.
Oh, yeah. Alright. That's fair.
Okay, I'm gonna look for the top 10. They have a top 10 lead seat. Holy goddamn. Amnesia Lemonator. That sounds really destructive. That sounds like it's something that would completely wreck your brain.
Did I tell you guys my new plan? My new life
Power plant! They've got one that's called Power Plant. I didn't
Nice.
even know there were different types of weed.
Yeah, there's
I'm
hundreds.
such a fucking idiot. White Widow.
That one's supposed to be really good.
That's nice, dude. I might actually. I mean, you're not supposed to grow them though. They find that out. Fucked.
Well, Canada's gonna legalize it, so I'll be able to grow whatever the fuck I want. That's why I want to get on this now.
And this is something that needs to change in our country
Yep.
as well, because it actually doesn't help to make them illegal. It makes the crime, the possibility for crime much higher. Like drugs empires will rise when drugs is illegal. When drugs isn't illegal and you can just get it in a store, then drugs empires will literally crumble. Like literally, they will die off because no one will buy shit from their shady gangs if they can just get it from their desk or value stores.
A Yorha only chip?
I have a really progressive mindset on drugs.
Well, I do and don't at the same time. It's a difficult thing to explain. It's like I want it decriminalized, but I don't want it legalized. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But whatever. On that note, I have a life goal now. I know what I want. I'm going to buy a bunch of property as soon as I can. I'm going to put solar panels on it, so I can start selling solar energy back to the government, the government, I guess. I'm going to build a cottage on that land, and I'm going to start growing my own pot and brewing my own beer. And that's how I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to be making pot beer while living out in the wilderness where I don't have to interact with people anymore. They can have all their feminist arguments all they want. I'm just going to have fun brewing beer and growing pots. That's it, guys.
They will laugh at you being a savage, but you will not care.
I'm going to be selling fucking free energy to the government. I'm going to be making money.
Yeah, but they're not not gonna focus on that. They're gonna focus on the part where you're gonna brew beer for yourself.
So what? Why wouldn't
And
I? I love my
Say
IPAs.
that's
Why-
a sort of example of you being a fascist motherfucker or something.
Ah, who cares?
Oh, you're a redneck. You should brew your own beer. Shut up. No one cares. Okay.
God damn it! I'm not prepared for this area.
I recently accidentally clicked on. I actually accidentally clicked on one of David Bowie's latest works, which was Black Star, and I freaking loved it. I loved it so much. David Bowie was if there was ever to be a race of artists, he'd be part of it.
You think so?
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
You have no idea how much I don't like David Bowie.
I really don't care.
That's fine. I want to fight him. I want to fight him. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna cut the stream here because
That's fine.
I've been going for 3 hours now. I still have to take care of a few errands. I'll probably be back later though, because I don't know. I have nothing to do today.
You're gonna leave the voice chat?
Yeah. I'm gonna go do things.
Okay.
Real life things.
Okay. Well, I hope you have the best of fun.
Yeah.
Stuff.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah,
you
man.
guys got to meet Mr. Schnitzel. Go subscribe to his channel if you want to see him. If you want to see him dress up as a lion and drink pea water out of a swamp.
I didn't actually drink it. Shut up.
All right. Otherwise, he's going to be an actor one day. And doing a bunch of YouTube stuff. So yeah, check him out. You guys know a lot more about him now. Way more than anyone needs to.
Yeah, indeed. But anyway. See ya.
All right, later.